What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 1 SP Chapter 01 Unlimited Skill Points at the start. Soul Society. Jingling Court, Shihouin Noble Garden. Ding! Congratulations to host, the Awakened, Unlimited Skill Points, system. The number of skill points is 99,999. A strange mechanical sound suddenly sounded. What, has Cheat finally awakened? Although it was a bit abrupt, Ling Yun breathed a sigh of relief when the system notification sounded. That's right, he is a time traveler. I was originally playing a mobile game called Shinigami, and finally found a cheat that can modify skill points. I didn't expect that I would inexplicably time travel just as I was about to cheat. After this time travel, he came to the world of Shinigami, and became one of the 4 nobles, a member of the Shihouin nobles, and the younger brother of Shihouin Yoruichi. To know, Shihouin, but the entire Soul Society, is one of the oldest nobles, and is known as the 4 Great Nobles along with the Kuchiki nobles. Not only is it called Heaven-given armed forces by the world, but also has a lot of magical weapons and powerful weapons, and its patriarch has been a secret and mobile commander-in-chief for generations. More importantly, I am still Yoruichi's younger brother. This special blood relationship brings countless benefits at the beginning, and enjoys unique spiritual resources. Knowing her background identity, Ling Yun suddenly felt awesome. Although the talent and pedigree are excellent, Ling Yun has never forgotten this saying that travelers bring their own benefits. It's a pity that after waiting for many years, Cheat has not awakened. That's why the scene just now happened. Ding! Congratulations host, you have obtained unlimited skill points. Do you want to open the attribute panel? Just as Ling Yun was meditating, the system notification sounded again. Open it now. Ling Yun nodded silently. A special attribute panel will soon appear in front of you. Name: Shihouin. Ling Yun. Identity: Young Master Shihouin. Ryatsu: 210 Shunpo, 420/108 white hits, 108. Hado: White Thunder Bakudo. Plug, this rope talent, no. Skill points. At #% at hash. The properties panel of the system. List all attributes of Ling Yun. What the hell is this pile of gibberish? Looking at the enigmatic gibberish on the property panel, Ling Yun's expression was a little dull. WDNMD, is it really unlimited skill points? In addition, Ling Yun also discovered that there is a small plus sign behind each Kido. Seems like it could really be upgraded. Why don't you give it a try? I don't know what the upper limit is. Ling Yun blinked, and with a skeptical attitude, manually clicked the plus sign behind Bai Lei. Ding! Congratulations to host, Bai Lei's level has been raised to LV2. As the system prompt sounded, Bai Lei's level really increased. Hey, can you continue to add points? Then keep clicking. After a brief surprise, Ling Yun completely let go and clicked the plus sign several times in a row. Ding! Congratulations to host, Bai Lei's level has been raised to LV3. Congratulations host, Bai Lei's level has been raised to LV4. Congratulations to host, Bai Lei's level has been raised to LV5. Congratulations to host, Bai Lei's level has been raised to LV99. The system prompt sounded continuously. After clicking 99 times in a row, Ling Yun's hand was about to cramp, and he finally raised Bai Lei to the full level, and the plus sign finally disappeared. At this time, on Hado's skill bar, behind Bai Lei's skill, there is an extra max logo. Obviously has reached the full level. After the full level, the power of Bai Lei should be significantly improved, Ling Yun said eagerly. After finally maxing out the skills, he naturally had to feel the power. With the mentality of trying, Ling Yun came to the center of the courtyard, in front of a huge stone. Hope it doesn't disappoint me. Ling Yun raised a finger, stored Ryatsu on the fingertips, and exerted a little force towards the boulder in front of him. Hado number 4, Shirai. The moment the drink fell, something unbelievable happened to Ling Yun. A thunderbolt shining brightly, like a transformed dragon, carrying the power to destroy everything, rushed towards the huge boulder with its teeth and claws. Bang! After the deafening noise, the boulders exploded with a bang, and debris flew in all directions, rushing to every corner of the yard. Not only that, but there was a huge hole where the boulder was originally located, and it was obviously almost penetrated. F*K. The power of this Bai Lei is too cruel. Looking at the messy scene around, Ling Yun couldn't help but screamed. Bai Lei's power is dozens of times stronger than he expected. Not to mention anything else, the fact that it almost pierced the surface with a single click can only be described as outrageous. This is too pervert. Even an ordinary chief executive can't achieve the same effect, right? Ling Yun never imagined that a full-level Bai Lei would be so strong. You know, his Ryatsu value is only 210 points. According to the judging criteria given by the system, it is not even as good as an ordinary team player. Of course, the current Ling Yun has not yet become a Shinigami, and has not even gone to the Junyang Academy to practice. The reason why I came to Bailey is because of the teachings of my sister Yoruichi. Strictly speaking, it is just a beginner. But after the skills are fully ordered, the effect of the full level Bailei is no less than that of an ordinary seat officer. What a big surprise. However, the surprise is much more than that. Ding! Congratulations to host, you have gained an extra talent, and the thunder attribute is friendly. Before Ling Yun could recover, the system notification sounded again. Hey, affinity with thunder attribute? What kind of talent is this? Ling Yun frowned suspiciously, then opened the property panel, and found that everything was completely different. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun. Identity: Young Master Shihouin. Ryatsu: 210 Shunpo, 420/108 white hits, 108. Hado: White Thunder, Max. Bakudo: Plug, this rope. Talent: Lightning attribute affinity skill points. At #% at hash. After the skills were upgraded, the talent column was no longer blank, but the words, Thunder attribute affinity, were added. Ling Yun subconsciously looked at that talent, Thunder attribute affinity. Talent effect: Lightning attribute Kido Grandmaster, when using Zanpakutō, additional permanent lightning attribute. Ling Yun checked the talent description, and was suddenly surprised from ear to ear. Permanently attached to the Thunder attribute. Doesn't this mean that once you become a Shinigami in the future, you will definitely awaken a lightning attribute Zanpakutō? Think here. Ling Yun's eyes suddenly became hot. Chapter 02. Well, this tastes a bit overwhelming. Thunder attribute affinity. Talent effect: Lightning attribute Kido Grandmaster, when using Zanpakutō, additional permanent lightning attribute. The awakening of extra talents. Immediately, Ling Yun became excited. This means that once he becomes a Shinigami, he will definitely awaken a lightning attribute Zanpakutō. You know, in the entire Gode 13, there are only a handful of thunder attributes Zanpakutō. The deputy captain of the first team, Shojiro Sasaki's Zanpakutō Yan Lingwan, is a lightning Zanpakutō. At the same time, Yan Lingmaru is also the only known Zanpakutō other than Hirenmaru who can control the weather. One can imagine Ling Yun's mood at the moment. Watching the talent introduction over and over again, he almost couldn't help laughing out loud. The awakening of extra talents is even more powerful than expected. Just by maxing out the Bailey skill, the Thunder attribute talent will be awakened. If the Konghuo pendant skill is maxed out, wouldn't the Fire attribute talent be awakened? Ling Yun suddenly made a bold guess. Thunder attribute, Fire attribute, Water attribute, Ice attribute, Wind attribute. Once he fills up all kinds of Kido skills, he may be able to awaken all attribute talents. And when that happens, doesn't it mean, will I awaken a unique full attribute Zanpakutō? Full attribute Zanpakutō. This should be a precedent for the Soul Society for 2,000 years, right? Ling Yun felt his blood boil just thinking about it. Of course. What excites him the most is the almost unlimited skills. This means that he can fill up any mastered skills as he likes and awaken additional talents. This means that the future of Ling Yun has infinite possibilities. Next, let's try Bakudo's skills. Ling Yun calmed down his excitement and looked at the attribute panel again. In the column of Bakudo, there are only 2 skills. One of Bakudo, Plug, the fourth of Bakudo, this rope. These 2 Bakudo skills have limited power and effects due to their lower serial numbers. But with unlimited skill points, everything becomes completely different. Hopefully Bakudo will do the same. With an expectant attitude, Ling Yun repeated the operation again, and clicked the plus sign behind the skill. Ding! Congratulations to host, the plug level has been raised to LV2. Everything is like rewinding a movie, and as the system prompt sounds, Bakudo's level has indeed increased. Ding! Congratulations to host, Bailei's level has been raised to LV3. Congratulations host, Bailei's level has been raised to LV4. Congratulations to host, Bailei's level has been raised to LV99. The system notification sound, like a text message bombardment, kept ringing in my ears. Ling Yun clicked to the full level in one breath. The plus sign behind the plug disappeared, and there was an extra max sign. It's time to try the power of the full level Bakudo. Ling Yun was in high spirits, came under a big tree, and then stretched out his finger. One of the Bakudo, sigh, with the sound of drinking down. At the position of Ling Yun's fingertips, there appeared a special pattern visible to the naked eye, like waves. This pattern was glowing with white light, continuously absorbing the surrounding spiritual particles, and finally turned into a huge spider web. This is too high, Ling Yun couldn't help exclaiming. After the plug has been upgraded to the full level, it brings an extremely shocking effect visually. What surprised him even more was that on the net pattern, there was a special ability to absorb Ryatsu. It is simply a new means of boat that has never been seen before. Even if it is an ordinary officer, facing the full level Sai, his actions will definitely be blocked, right? It will definitely have a surprise effect. Ling Yun showed a satisfied smile. The upgraded Bakudo is as powerful as ever, ding. Congratulations to host, you got an extra talent, Ryatsu boost. Just then, the system beep sounded again. Just like last time, Ling Yun got another extra talent. Ryatsu boost. Sounds pretty cool. With an expectant attitude, Ling Yun immediately opened the properties panel. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun identity, Young Master Shihouin. Ryotsu. 210 Shunpo, 420/108 white hits, 108. Hado. White Thunder, Max, Bakudo. Plug, Max, this rope. Talent. Lightning Affinity, Ryotsu Amplification. Skill points. At #% at hash. As he expected, in the talent column, the words, Ryotsu Amplification, are added. Open black lens bracket Ryotsu increase close black lens bracket, talent effect, cast any Bakudo, can absorb external spirits, thereby enhancing the power of Bakudo. Permanent passive talent. Ling Yun took a look at the talent description and his whole person immediately burst into joy. Compared with Thunder Affinity, this talent is also brilliant, which is equivalent to permanently enhancing the power of Bakudo. Simple and crude effect. There is one more skill. I don't know what kind of surprises it will bring when it is full. Just when Ling Yun was excited and wanted to fill up the skill again, there was a sound outside the gate of the courtyard. Ling Yun. Are you practicing Kido? Why did I hear a loud noise just now? A soft voice came. Ling Yun turned around slowly, and the figure of the other party came into view. Underneath the long purple hair is a beautiful and delicate face, and a body with perfect lines. The overall temperament is perfect and impeccable. Sister Yoruichi. Ling Yun greeted warmly. That's right, the one who suddenly appeared as the current patriarch of the Shihouin nobles and the captain of the Godei second team. The woman who bears the title of Flash Goddess, Shihouin Yoruichi. Sister Yoruichi, long time no see. It seems that the team has been very busy recently. Ling Yun smiled. Hey, Ling Yun, you're a little weird today. Yoruichi snorted lightly, as if he wasn't used to it. Every time we met before, you would rush over and hug me right away. Still have this kind of operation? Ling Yun was stunned for a while, but quickly came to his senses and responded wittily. I practiced all afternoon, and my whole body is sweating. I'm afraid you won't like it, sister. Fool, how could it be? You are my dearest brother. Yoruichi came in front of Ling Yun, chuckled lightly and flicked a chestnut. Ouch, Sister Yoruichi, your hands are so strong. Ling Yun staggered and threw himself into Yoruichi's arms. What a nice smell. Smelling the fragrance coming from his face, Ling Yun immediately relaxed, feeling immersed in the gentleness. Ling Yun, you have practiced all afternoon, you must be exhausted, right? Yoruichi let his brother snuggle into his arms. The relationship between the two is close. Chapter 03 Yoruichi's jaw dropped. Ling Yun, why'd I feel that you were a little different today? Yoruichi, who is easygoing and cheerful, looks at Ling Yun who is nestled in his arms, showing a doting smile. For this brother, she has deep feelings. Although he is in a high position, he is not only the captain of the 2nd Division, but also the commander-in-chief who secretly maneuvers. But in his busy schedule, Yoruichi always finds time to give advice on Ling Yun's practice alone. This time she will appear here for this reason. Sister Yoruichi, I also think you are different. Ling Yun let go with some reluctance, and left Yoruichi's embrace. What's wrong with me? I think you are differently beautiful. Ling Yun said suddenly. Peeved. Ling Yun, you can do it. Yoruichi couldn't help laughing, and gave a thumbs up. Where did I learn this? And I successfully molested my sister. It doesn't matter, what matters is that you have changed, Ling Yun continued. What? Yoruichi froze. You have become more beautiful than before. After a disagreement, Ling Yun made another earthy love story. Ling Yun, I have to admit that today's opening speech is very special. Yoruichi came back to his senses, feeling a bright light in his eyes, and suddenly smiled coquettishly. After all, she grew up in the Shihouin family since she was a child. As one of the 4 great nobles, Shihouin's people have always been somewhat conservative, which is completely different from Yoruichi's character. Therefore, Ling Yun's earthy love story opened a breakthrough. Accidentally win Yoruichi's favor. It's not because we don't meet each other often, so I miss my sister from the bottom of my heart. Ling Yun took the opportunity to confess. Ling Yun, it's been a while since I saw you, but you've become more and more skinny. With a doting tone, Yoruichi lightly smiled and touched Ling Yun's forehead. Okay, let's get down to business. This time I took the time to come here mainly to test your practice results. Yoruichi raised his throat and said in a low voice. While talking, she looked into the courtyard. Seeing the broken stones scattered all over the ground, Yoruichi smiled in surprise. Ling Yun, it seems that your practice has been doing well for a while, and you have such a remarkable effect. To be honest, she was a little surprised, because half a month ago, Yoruichi personally guided Ling Yun's training. With Ling Yun's performance at that time, it was impossible to penetrate the ground. Is it possible? Yoruichi immediately thought of a possibility. Ling Yun, you have completely mastered ballet? Yoruichi asked expectantly. Sister Yoruichi, you may not believe it, after half a month of hard training, I have already mastered ballet. Ling Yun looked at the other party with the mentality of watching a drama. As predicted, Yoruichi's expression changed immediately after he said those words. What? The Grand Master has mastered it in such a short time. An exclamation came out. On Yoruichi's beautiful face, there was a surprised expression. My younger brother is not very old, he hasn't gone to the Junyang Spiritual Academy to practice, and he has never been in contact with any Kido beforehand. Under such a premise, in just half a month, I have mastered Hado Bailey proficiently. This news immediately surprised and delighted Yoruichi. Ling Yun, you really brought too many surprises today. If Ling Yun is not lying, how terrifying is his talent? Thinking of this, Yoruichi withdrew her thoughts, and she looked at Ling Yun, and her eyes suddenly became hot. What, Sister Yoruichi, you don't seem to believe it. From Yoruichi's facial expression, Ling Yun vaguely guessed her thoughts. Ling Yun, aren't you joking with your sister? Although they have a close relationship with each other. However, Yoruichi is still skeptical about what Ling Yun said. After all, Ling Yun's practice time was very short, and he didn't even receive systematic training, so he just relied on his own guidance. Sister Yoruichi, if you don't believe me, you can have a duel with me. Ling Yun had expected that Yoruichi would have such a reaction, and said confidently. Yo, you're quite confident, sister, I won't show mercy. Yoruichi chuckled heartily, and at the same time walked towards the open space in the middle of the courtyard. A series of reactions from Ling Yun filled Yoruichi with anticipation. Sister Yoruichi, be careful that I will hurt you later. Ling Yun followed closely and also came to the open space. Half a month ago, if he had said this sentence, it would probably have become a joke. A kid who has just practiced for half a month, even if he inherits Shihouin's noble lineage, will not be a match for a Shinigami captain after all, there's a gap in strength. But now, Ling Yun became full of confidence. Even standing in front of him is the Flash Goddess who enjoys a very high status and prestige in the entire Godai 13. Ling Yun still has the confidence to impress her opponent. Stinky boy, I'm the captain of the 2nd Division, the commander-in-chief who maneuvers secretly, how could I be hurt by a brat like you? Yoruichi shook his head dumbfounded. Then try it. Ling Yun stretched out a finger and pointed it at Yoruichi's body. The Ryotsu in the body flows quickly, all accumulated at the fingertips, push forward a little. Hado number 4, Shirai, the moment Ling Yun shouted. After seeing what happened in front of him, the expression on Yoruichi's face froze instantly. Within her line of sight, a thunderbolt shining brightly, like a transformed dragon, carrying the power to destroy everything, quickly attacked her. Shirai, the low-ranked Hado, one of the most common moves in Shinigami, was performed by a kid. To make yourself feel threatened. Yoruichi's eyes widened in astonishment, unable to imagine what happened at this moment. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. It should be just my hallucination. Yoruichi shook her head vigorously, she blinked her eyes, but when she opened them again, nothing changed. That white thunder still exists, and it's only one step away. The situation is imminent. Shunpo. Despite the reluctance in his heart, Yoruichi still gritted his teeth and cast Shunpo in an instant, and the figure disappeared in place. As her figure disappeared, the white thunder followed closely, bombarding the ground heavily. Bang! After the deafening noise, a large amount of debris flew in all directions, rushing to every corner of the yard. Where Yoruichi was originally located, a huge hole appeared, and the center of the entire open space was directly penetrated. How can that be? Yoruichi's exclamation came from the dense fog. Witnessing Bai Lei's power with her own eyes, her jaw almost dropped in shock. Chapter 04 10 times bonus. How can that be? Yoruichi's exclamation came from the dense fog. Witnessing Bai Lei's power with her own eyes, her jaw almost dropped in shock. Originally, I just had a playful mentality and planned to take the opportunity to tease Ling Yun, but I didn't expect this to be the final result. With a white thunder, Ling Yun successfully pushed Yoruichi back. Ling Yun, sister is dreaming, right? Why is your Bai Lei so powerful? Looking at the messy scene around him, Yoruichi couldn't help covering his mouth and screaming. Bai Lei's power is dozens of times stronger than she expected. Not to mention anything else, the fact that it almost pierced the surface with a single click can only be described as outrageous. How about it, Sister Yoruichi, isn't my Bai Lei not bad? Looking at Yoruichi's surprised expression, the smile on the corner of Ling Yun's mouth deepened. Obviously, it was Bai Lei just now. It directly turned Yoruichi's whole person show, and at the same time achieved the expected effect of Ling Yun. A perfect show. Amazing, it's my sister who missed it. Yoruichi gave a thumbs up in a heartfelt like. After only half a month of practice, he has mastered Bai Lei's skill proficiently, and has exerted 10 times more power than before. It's exciting news that Ling Yun's Kido talent has turned her concept on its head. Sister Yoruichi, it's a pity that my Ryotsu is too weak. If I can practice for a while, Bai Lei's power should be improved. Ling Yun said in a positive tone. After reaching the full level, Bai Lei's power is quite impressive. But don't forget that Kido's power is tied to Ryotsu. As long as Ling Yun's Ryotsu continues to grow, Bai Lei still has room to improve. Ling Yun, you are so amazing, my sister must spend more time in the future to guide you. Yoruichi's mood still has not calmed down. The birth of a genius is a great joy for any family, let alone a nobleman like Shihouin. Sister, don't wait for the future, why don't you just take advantage of it now? Ling Yun's eyes flashed a sly, since I have already become Grandmaster Bai Lei, why don't you teach me Aikido again? Ling Yun made a pitiful look and directly hit Yoruichi's weakness. Okay, I happen to be free all day today, so I'll teach you a few more low-level Hado. After all, he couldn't resist the charm of the little boy, and Yoruichi agreed without hesitation. Low-level Hado, for her, is just a matter of ease. No trouble, no effort. Yoruichi naturally would not refuse his brother's request. Okay, Sister Yoruichi, why don't you just learn by serial number? Ling Yun said expectantly. No problem, my sister suddenly remembered, you don't seem to have learned the initial Hado? Yoruichi asked seriously. No, you only taught me by lei last time. Hado number 1, charge. In fact, the principle of this move is very simple, and it is essentially the same as by lei. By condensing Ryotsu, a small shockwave is released. Yoruichi briefly explained the principle. Don't quite understand? I'll show you right away. Seeing Ling Yun half understanding, Yoruichi showed a doting anti-smile. One of Hado, rush. With the sound of drinking, Yoruichi stretched out his finger and tapped forward. A small Ryotsu air blast shot out along the fingertips, smashing the ground at an extremely fast speed. Now you should understand, right? Yoruichi put his fingers away and gestured towards Ling Yun. Let me try it. Ling Yun imitated Yoruichi's movement and stretched out her fingers, gathering all the accumulated Ryotsu at the fingertips. Call out, accompanied by a burst of piercing wind. A weak Ryotsu air burst shot out along the fingertips and fell into the previous hole. Successful once. Yoruichi raised his eyebrows in surprise. Although this move is very simple, it is an introductory move for all Hado. But Ling Yun's movements just now were not only smooth, but also imitated to the essence, and he reached the level of familiarity in one fell swoop. This savvy once again amazed Yoruichi. Brother, once, it can be called a coincidence. But if the same thing happens many times, it proves that your talent is indeed beyond peerless. Yoruichi praised sincerely. However, Ling Yun did not respond to Flash Goddess praise. It's not that he's pretending to be cold, but he's busy with some skills. Ding! Congratulations to host, the Chon level has been raised to LV2. Congratulations to host, the Chon level has been raised to LV3. Congratulations to host, the Chon level has been raised to LV4. Congratulations to host, the charge level has been raised to LV99. The system notification sound, like a text message bombardment, kept ringing in my ears. Taking advantage of Yoruichi's speech, Ling Yun clicked to the full level in one breath, and the plus sign behind it disappeared, and there was an extra max sign. At the same time, the properties panel of the system has changed again. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun. Identity: Young Master Shihouin. Ryotsu: 210 Shunpo, 420/108 White Hits, 108. Hado: Chong, Max, White Thunder, Max, Bakudo. Plug, Max, this rope. Talent: Lightning Affinity, Ryotsu Amplification. Skill points. At #% at hash. As predicted, everything is just like what happened before. Hado's column has an extra charge of full level. Shouldn't the extra talents be awakened? It was as if a preview had been made. The moment Ling Yun finished speaking, the system notification sounded again. Ding! Congratulations to host, you have gained extra talents, and Hado has increased. The system's notification sound, like the sound of nature, instantly lit up Ling Yun's eyes. Hado boost? Shouldn't it have the same effect as Ryotsu's boost? Ling Yun looked at the talent description with doubts and expectations. Open black lens bracket. Hado amplification. Close black lens bracket. Talent effect. Casting any Hado can enhance the power of Hado by absorbing spiritual seeds. The bonus range varies according to the concentration of spirit particles. The highest bonus is 10 times. F*K. Up to 10 times? Ling Yun's eyes burst into a burst of intense light. If it wasn't for Yoruichi's presence, he would definitely be jumping up. 10 times the power increase. It doesn't get any more awesome effects than this. This means that once the maximum bonus is reached, the power of Hado he displays will be 10 times that of others. Hado's power will become even more terrifying if the bonus after the full level is included. It's too fierce, 10 times the increase. I should have a halo of luck, right? Ling Yun was very happy. He is very clear that he is about to embark on the road of Super God. Chapter 05: The Black-Bellied Store Manager's Prank. Ling Yun, what's the matter with you? Why did you suddenly lose your mind? Just when Ling Yun was immersed in joy, Yoruichi's voice woke him up suddenly. No, it's nothing, I just felt a little tired just now. Ling Yun casually found an excuse to smooth things over. He can't just tell Yoruichi that he has maxed out Hado, can he? That's right, after practicing for an afternoon, you should be a little exhausted, right? Yoruichi came to Ling Yun and put his arm on Ling Yun's shoulder lightly. Why don't you go back to the house first, and sister will give you a few clicks later, Yoruichi suddenly suggested. Well, I like Sister Yoruichi's massage technique the most. Ling Yun agreed without hesitation. Can let the famous Flash Goddess rub your shoulders for yourself. It's so cool. By the way, Ling Yun, in the fall, the Zhenyang Ling Yun Academy will start recruiting students, so don't miss it. Yoruichi suddenly sounded and reminded him deliberately. Sister Yoruichi, don't worry. I'm the young master of Shihouin. Sister Yoruichi is your own brother. I can't trouble you with spiritual power tests, Ling Yun said in a relaxed tone. He really didn't take this matter to heart. In addition to special referrals, the enrollment of Zhenyang Ling Yun Academy is mainly through the spiritual power test. As long as it reaches the standard line, it can pass the assessment. Although Ling Yun's current Ryotsu is not as good as an ordinary team member, it is more than enough to pass the assessment. That's fine. It takes 6 years to complete the courses of the Zhenyang Ling Yun Academy. Are you sure you can graduate early? Yoruichi joked suddenly. 6 years is too long, or... Ling Yun paused for a moment, and said jokingly, in order not to lose the face of Shihouin. I have to graduate in 1 year anyway. Hey, brat, aren't you afraid that the cowhide will be blown? Yoruichi chuckled, and didn't take it seriously. In the entire history of Soul Society, those who graduated 1 year ahead of schedule can be counted on 10 fingers. The difficulty can be seen as moderate. It's useless to rely on words alone. Sister, is that why you don't like me so much? Ling Yun leaned in front of Yoruichi on purpose, and once again used his trump card. The little boy is so cute. He shook his head deliberately, sighed dejectedly, and pretended to be dejected. Where, my sister is just teasing you. You are the future hope of our Shihouin family. Although Yoruichi's character is a bit bold, seeing Ling Yun's facial expression, his whole heart melted instantly. Between the words, the care and concern for Ling Yun are fully displayed. Sister, with your words, I will definitely not let you down. Ling Yun took advantage of the situation and threw himself into Yoruichi's arms, sniffing the fragrance coming from his face. The scene suddenly became warmer. Oh, I almost forgot. I will introduce someone to you later. Yoruichi suddenly remembered that there was an invitation in the evening, and it was almost time now. Hey, let me know the introducer. Ling Yun asked curiously, who is it, so I can reveal the details in advance. You will know later. He is my sister's best friend for many years, and now he is also the chief officer of the second team. You will deal with each other often in the future, Yoruichi said with a light smile. Could it be him? After hearing Yoruichi's few words, a figure instantly appeared in Ling Yun's mind. The man known as the strongest brain, who has always behaved in a free and easy way, and has a sense of mystery every time he appears, Urahara Kazuki. According to Yoruichi's description, the person who will meet later is very likely to be the store manager. Thinking about it this way, Sister Yoruichi is really well intentioned. Now introducing people is to pave the way for me in advance. Ling Yun suddenly realized. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but feel that in any dimensional world, it is important to fight for the father in the backstage. Fortunately, I have a heaven-defying identity background, and I have Yoruichi, a strong sister, to back me up. When it comes to sister fighting, he is worthy of everyone. Let's go, it's almost time, now follow me to the lobby. Afterwards, Ling Yun simply tidied up and followed Yoruichi out of the courtyard. Soon after, the lobby of Shihouin's mansion. Oh hehehe. Captain Yoruichi, you really came on time. I just made a pot of hot tea here. Ling Yun just walked into the lobby, and a hearty laugh came from his face. The owner of this voice has light yellow short curly hair, army green jewel-like eyes, is wearing a black deadly costume, and has a little stubble on his handsome face. It sure is him, Urahara Kazuki. Although it was only the first time we met, Ling Yun felt extremely familiar. Urahara Kazuki, a charismatic character, was loved long before his time travel. Unexpectedly, we met in the world of Shinigami, and the store manager looks even more handsome in real life. Kazuki, it's really rare. It's rare to see you so punctual. Yoruichi greeted him familiarly, and immediately sat on the first seat. Ling Yun followed closely behind, brushing shoulders with Urahara Kazuki. This is the next patriarch of the Shihouin family that you have often mentioned, brother Ling Yun, right? Urahara Kazuki took the initiative to say hello. Hi, my name is Ling Yun. Who are you? Although he already knew the identity of the other party, but in order to save face for the store manager, Ling Yun took the initiative to ask. Oh he. My name is Urahara Kazuki, and I am the current third member of the second division team, and also the sub-captain of the covert mobile management team. It seems that we have a good relationship. Urahara Kazuki picked up the teapot beside him, filled the empty cup with tea. I think so too, Mr. Urahara, you are quite kind. Ling Yun smiled slightly. Brother Ling Yun is really good at talking. Come on, try the hot tea I made. My tea skills are very good. Urahara Kazuki handed over a cup of hot tea. Kazuki, this guy. Seeing Urahara Kazuki's actions, Yoruichi, who was seated at the head, frowned slightly. She saw all the clues at a glance, then I won't be polite. Ling Yun didn't think too much, took the teacup from Urahara Kazuki's hand, and poured it directly into his mouth. But, after a few seconds, his complexion changed dramatically. Oops, I was fooled. I almost forgot that the store manager loves pranks the most. When Ling Yun realized it, it was too late. His face was a deep purple color, and his stomach was churning violently one after another as if the river was tossing the sea. Mr. Urahara, your way of greeting is really unique. Ling Yun clutched his stomach in pain, and rolled his eyes mercilessly. Momentary negligence, it was actually succeeded by the store manager's prank. No, can't suffer, we must find the venue later. Chapter 06. This is a new version of the ship that has never been seen before. Mr. Urahara, your way of greeting is really unique. Ling Yun clutched his stomach in pain, and rolled his eyes mercilessly. Let's not talk about anything else. In the pot of tea I drank just now, I definitely put some laxatives in advance. He got tricked by accident. Ling Yun had to admit that the store manager's pranks are really hard to guard against. You wait, I will definitely find my way back. Ling Yun clutched his stomach and left in a hurry. He had to solve the problem of diarrhea first. Oh hee, brother Ling Yun, turn left when you go out of the toilet, remember to hurry up, I can't guarantee the efficacy of the special medicine. Urahara Kazuki joked with a smile. Kazuki, you are really messing around, you even cheated on my younger brother. Yoruichi, who was sitting in the first place, also rolled his eyes at Urahara Kazuki with contempt. Captain Yoruichi, as Ling Yun's future teacher, I have to give him a good lesson first. Facing Yoruichi's accusation, Urahara Kazuki responded calmly. He and Yoruichi have a close relationship and have been close friends for many years. As for the issue of laxatives, the store manager didn't have any malice, it was just a prank. The reason why I came to Shihouin's mansion was completely invited by Yoruichi. Have you thought it through? Yoruichi's eyes light up instantly. Oh hee, brother Ling Yun, but Shihouin's next patriarch, if he can hold such a thick thigh in advance, I will be able to walk sideways in Jinglingding in the future. Urahara Kazuki cracked a joke and showed his humorous side. After all, the current Ling Yun is just a kid, so there is no such thing as hugging thighs at all. And with his identity and position, it is more than enough to be Ling Yun's tutor. Then I can rest assured that with your teaching and guidance, Ling Yun's practice will definitely improve by leaps and bounds. Yoruichi showed a satisfied smile. Although she can also give advice to Ling Yun, Yoruichi is usually busy with team affairs, and Yoruichi doesn't have much time to spare. But Urahara Kazuki is different, he is only the third seat and does not need to assist in handling team affairs. As for the covert mobile management team, it is mainly responsible for guarding the innocent and dangerous Shinigami imprisoned in the maggot's lair. So the store manager is usually more leisurely and doesn't have to worry about too many things at all. More importantly, Yoruichi knew very well in his heart that Urahara Kazuki has the strength of the captain, and the 3-day comprehension of Bankai is the best proof. To become Ling Yun's tutor, considering all the above conditions, there is obviously no more suitable candidate than him. Captain Yoruichi, don't you think highly of me? Urahara Kazuki said mockingly, an unknown person like me can only be a fool. Kazuki, you are low-key, you are not an unknown person. Yoruichi said dumbfounded, by the way, why has Ling Yun been away for so long and hasn't come back yet? I also think, brother Ling Yun must not have passed out in the toilet, right? Urahara Kazuki said with a guilty face, feeling a little sorry in his heart. After all, it was just a prank, and the store manager didn't want anything to happen to Ling Yun. At the same time, a hidden corner outside the lobby. Ding, congratulations host, this rope has been upgraded to LV2. Congratulations host, this rope has been upgraded to LV3. Congratulations host, this rope has been upgraded to LV4. Congratulations host, this rope has been upgraded to LV99. The system notification sound, like a text message bombardment, kept ringing in my ears. While Yoruichi was talking to the store manager, Ling Yun was busy maxing out another Bakudo. As happened before, the plus sign behind the rope disappeared, and there was an extra max sign. The property panel of the system has changed accordingly. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun. Identity: Young Master Shihouin. Ryatsu: 210 Shunpo, 420/108 white hits, 108. Hado: Chong, max, White Thunder, max, Bakudo. Plug, max, this rope, max. Talent: Lightning Affinity, Ryatsu Amplification. Skill points: at #% at hash, we must find the venue later. Ling Yun gritted her teeth secretly. He is not a person who suffers casually, even if the other party is just a friendly prank, he must earn back this breath. Immediately after. Ding, congratulations to host, you have gained extra talent in Attribute Fusion. The system beep sounded again. Well, Attribute Addition. What kind of ghost talent is this? With a puzzled attitude, Ling Yun looked at the description of the talent. Open black lens bracket Attribute Fusion close black lens bracket, talent effect. When casting any, it can add additional attributes, thereby enhancing the power of Bakudo. To be able to add attributes is really a unique and practical talent. Ling Yun couldn't help feeling emotional. With additional attributes attached to Bakudo, a new version of the ship he has never seen before. System, can I understand that when I cast any Bakudo, it can add the thunder attribute that I have comprehended before? Ling Yun asked curiously. That's right, after awakening the talent, once you cast this rope, use Ryatsu to create a rope-shaped light rope, it will become a lightning-type electric rope, which will additionally increase the paralysis of the current. The system simply gave an example. It's done, it's an invincible talent. Ling Yun showed an overjoyed expression. Not only the thunder attribute, but also the fire attribute, water attribute, ice attribute, wind attribute and so on. As long as he masters more talent affinity, when he casts any Bakudo in the future, he can incorporate multiple attributes for superposition, which will greatly enhance the power of Bakudo. Try to imagine being trapped by Bakudo while being burned by fire, or paralyzed by electricity, and blown by cold wind. That feeling is depressing just thinking about it. It's just the right time for the talent to awaken, just to test the power with Urahara store manager. Ling Yun closed the attribute panel and showed a satisfied smile. With the strength possessed by the 3 seats, he is definitely the most suitable candidate. Soon after, the lobby of Shihouin's mansion. Yoruichi, why don't I look for it? I'm really sorry, maybe I took too much medicine, and I didn't expect it to be like this. Urahara Kazuki paced back and forth, with a guilty expression on his face. After waiting for a long time, Ling Yun didn't come back, and he himself was a little anxious. Kazuki, no need, brother has already returned, Yoruichi responded quickly while looking towards the lobby door. Hey, it's brother Ling Yun. Urahara Kazuki followed Yoruichi's line of sight and found Ling Yun standing at the entrance of the lobby. However, the next second to greet him was Bakudo cast by Ling Yun. The 4th of Bakudo, this rope, Chapter 07 confirmed eyes. Urahara Kazuki looked towards the entrance of the lobby and found Ling Yun's figure, but he hadn't waited for him to react. The next second to greet him was Bakudo cast by Ling Yun. The 4th of Bakudo, this rope, with the sound of drinking down. Around Urahara Kazuki's body, there appeared a thread of light made by spiritual power, with arcs beating on the surface. Zzz. The arcs of lightning visible to the naked eye, densely packed, made a crackling sound. This unusual scene immediately caused an exclamation. This is the 4th Bakudo. Why is it different from what I've seen before? Yoruichi stood up suddenly from his seat, with a surprised expression on his face again. Captain Shinigami, in fact, at her level, has long since abandoned the use of low-level Kido. But in Yoruichi's vague memory, even the rope that was fully chanted shouldn't have this level of power. Not to mention those jumping lightning arcs. What's going on again? Captain Yoruichi, it seems that Ling Yun is not what you said, just an ordinary kid. Urahara Kazuki glanced down, tightly bound the light cords of his body. He could clearly feel a tiny electric current constantly moving along the light cord. Without any preparation in advance, Urahara Kazuki felt his skin gradually become paralyzed by the constant impact of the electric current. He, who has always been calm, also showed a surprised expression. The 4th of Bakudo, this rope, Urahara Kazuki gave up the chant and used the same move directly. As a result, Ling Yun, who was standing opposite, also had a light cord appearing around his body. But, anyone who is not blind can see the obvious difference between the two at a glance. One is just an ordinary light cord. The other is a lightning rope attached to an electric current. The gap is extremely obvious. Ling Yun, how many secrets do you still hide? Yoruichi was the first to come to his senses and couldn't help but ask questions. Ling Yun once again amazed her with Bakudo. After the rope has been upgraded to the full level, it brings an extremely shocking effect visually. Huh? It seems that apart from this rope, brother Ling Yun's other Kido are also different? With Urahara Kazuki's high IQ, some information can be captured through just a few words. That's right, not only Bakudo, but Hado as well. Yoruichi replied in the affirmative. I didn't go to Mao to study, but I know how to transform Kido by myself. It's incredible. Ignoring the electric current around his body, Urahara Kazuki couldn't help but praise. Ling Yun's Kido talent made him shine immediately afterwards. With a backhand swing, Urahara Kazuki released the rope, showing his sincerity. Brother Ling Yun, I'm really sorry, it was just a prank just now, I hope you don't take it to heart. Urahara Kazuki offered to apologize. Sensing Ling Yun's super talent, he immediately became active and enthusiastic. Everyone has the heart to cherish talents. Urahara Kazuki is no exception. Mr. Urahara, for the sake of your sincere apology, let's write off the incident just now. Ling Yun is not a person who holds grudges, and he has known the character of the store manager for a long time, so this matter was quickly relieved. By the way, I forgot to introduce it just now. Seeing that the two reconciled, Yoruichi immediately stood up to ease the atmosphere. Ling Yun, from today onwards, Kazuki will be your tutor and will be responsible for one-on-one training for you until the Zhenyang Lingyuan Academy starts enrolling students. What, governess? Ling Yun's expression froze for a moment, and he didn't expect it at all. Who is Urahara Kazuki? The future captain of the 12th Division, the founder of the Technology Development Bureau, and the inventor of Hogyoku. In the Millennium Bloody Battle chapter, he was designated by Yhwach as one of the 5 great special combat powers. The specialty of the store manager is self-evident. Let such a special person who has played a decisive role in the entire Soul Society's more than 2,000-year history become his family tutor. I am afraid there is nothing more exciting than this. Oh hehehe. What, brother Ling Yun, you don't seem to be willing. Urahara Kazuki took a sip of hot tea, and a smile that was not a smile was drawn at the corner of his mouth. No, that's the case. Mr. Urahara, I welcome you very much, Ling Yun quickly explained. That's it. On the way to Shihouin's mansion, I was worried that you would refuse. Urahara Kazuki snapped his fingers, and the smile on his face deepened. Confirmed eyes. Both parties have found the right person. Huh. Then I'm completely relieved. Yoruichi breathed a sigh of relief. Kazuki, there are still 3 months until autumn, and Ling Yun will be handed over to you during this time. No problem, there is plenty of time. 3 months later, I will let you see a brand new him. Facing Yoruichi's entrustment, Urahara Kazuki was full of confidence. In fact, Urahara Kazuki is also a teacher for the first time. For some reason, he always felt that Ling Yun was very attractive, so he made up his mind to teach Ling Yun. Mr. Urahara, so you will live here permanently? Ling Yun asked curiously. What? Urahara Kazuki was taken aback for a moment, and then said dumbfoundedly, Brother Ling Yun, thanks to you, you are still less in charge, and you have underestimated the majesty of the 4 nobles. If it wasn't for Captain Yoruichi's permission, I wouldn't be able to take a step as an outsider, or I might be targeted by room 46. Everyone knows the temper of those bad old men. Urahara Kazuki took advantage of the situation and complained. If we don't live here permanently, where will we go to practice in the future? Ling Yun looked confused. Hey, that's the right question. Urahara Kazuki chuckled, pretending to be mysterious. Brother Ling Yun, I call that place the secret base, and you will know when the time comes. The store manager deliberately sold a pass, and did not directly tell Ling Yun the answer. A secret base. Ling Yun frowned slightly. He thought about it for a moment, and soon had some clues. There is only one place that can make Urahara Kazuki so proud. That is the underground training ground that was secretly built with a special hot spring located under the Shuangjiting platform. Shop manager Urahara, don't you plan to take me to a hot spring? Ling Yun said intentionally. What? Hot springs? It was as if he had heard something unbelievable. The corners of Urahara Kazuki's mouth twitched slightly, and his eyes widened in shock. He really has this plan. Brother Ling Yun, are you just talking casually? Urahara Kazuki put away the original omen, and his face rarely became serious. Otherwise, where can I find a hot spring? Ling Yun whistled leisurely, with a casual look. So that's the case, then I'm relieved. Urahara Kazuki's eyes flickered slightly. He always felt that his student was a little different. The next day. Soul Society, Jingling Court. Brother Ling Yun, this is it. Let's stay here for training for the next 3 months. Urahara Kazuki's voice sounded, breaking the quiet atmosphere around. They are located on the north side of the Shuangji Hill, directly below the Shuangjiting platform. Looking around, there are dense vegetation everywhere, and there is almost no complete road. It is not easy to get here, you need to overcome obstacles all the way. It can be seen how remote the location is here. Mr. Urahara, this place is too remote. Why did you think of establishing a secret base here? Ling Yun had to complain. Anyone coming here for the first time will definitely get lost in the dense forest without a guide. Your disadvantage is its advantage. Urahara Kazuki responded calmly. In this way, you don't have to worry about the privacy and security of the base. I see. Where is the entrance? Ling Yun looked around carefully, but couldn't find any place like an entrance. Brother Ling Yun, watch it. Urahara Kazuki came to a rock with a jagged surface and reached out to touch the rough surface. Ryatsu fluctuates, blue light flickers. Urahara Kazuki waved his arms and stroked the stone surface regularly, forming a special pattern. The next moment, under the light of ultimate, a pitch-black pothole appeared. Standing on the edge of the hole, looking down into it, you can see a dark corridor. Mr. Urahara, may I ask, was that Kido's restriction just now? Ling Yun asked curiously. That's right, this is my special Kido restriction, which can hide the entrance passage of the base. Urahara Kazuki briefly explained. Let's go, be mentally prepared. The scene inside will make your eyes shine. Urahara Kazuki walked into the passage first, Ling Yun followed closely behind him, and the figures of the two gradually disappeared to the end of the passage. Soon after, under the leadership of Urahara Kazuki, they finally came to the inside of the hidden base. Wow! What a beautiful scene, it's so different from the outside world. The moment Ling Yun walked out of the passageway, Ling Yun couldn't help feeling emotional just by taking a look. The interior space of the hidden base is much larger than he expected. The entire venue is brightly lit, and smoke can be seen everywhere, and there are several steaming hot springs, giving people a vague feeling of a paradise. Sophisticated and finished and immaculate layout, all bring a new look. Brother Ling Yun, how is it? The environment here doesn't disappoint you, right? Urahara Kazuki chuckled triumphantly. Urahara Kazuki, what a great effort to create such a perfect training base. Ling Yun had to admit that the store manager still had something. Look over there, those steaming hot springs. Urahara Kazuki pointed to the other side. The quality of the water inside is extraordinary. It has powerful healing power and can effectively relieve fatigue. Not only that, while leading the way, Urahara Kazuki introduced enthusiastically, this is located in the center of the entire Shuangji Hill, and it is the place with the highest concentration of spiritual particles in this area. You may wish to sense it carefully. Yes. Ling Yun closed her eyes and sensed carefully according to the other party's request. Sure enough, just as the store manager said, the concentration of spirit particles inside the training base was several times denser than that outside. If you practice here, the effect will be twice the result with half the effort. Mr. Urahara, your methods are really endless, and you have such a strong ability to invent and create. Ling Yun seemed to have started the praise mode, and he was full of praise from beginning to end. It's one thing to know in advance, quite another to experience it for yourself. His admiration for Urahara Kazuki, as the contact time lengthened, even reached the point of throwing himself to the ground. Okay, the whole environment has been introduced, and it's time to talk about the training plan. Urahara Kazuki came to the center of the field, and his expression gradually became serious. In addition to eating and sleeping, you need to train at least 10 hours a day. Considering your Kido talent, I plan to let you master all low-level Kido within 3 months. As soon as Urahara Kazuki came up, he made a strict training plan. 10 hours? Ling Yun's eyes flickered slightly. 10 hours of practice time is twice as long as he was in Shihouin's mansion. He had to sigh, the store manager is really strict. Of course, besides Kido, I will teach the 4 major fighting techniques of Shinigami and Zanshuin Zaogui one by one. Urahara Kazuki added. Mr. Urahara, I understand, Ling Yun nodded seriously. The 3-month special training was actually full of challenges for him. But when he thought that he could become the direct apprentice of the store manager, Ling Yun immediately felt as if he had been beaten with chicken blood. Perhaps one day in the future, he will be able to follow the store manager, participate in the research and invention of Hogyoku, and personally experience the birth process of the divine thing. There is nothing more exciting than this, brother Ling Yun. I am very optimistic about you. I hope you can become that once-in-a-century genius who has been vacant for a long time. In Urahara Kazuki's words, it is obvious that she has high hopes for Ling Yun. At this point in time, Ichimaru Jin is still wandering in Rukongai, and the Night of Hollow accident will not happen until many years later. Therefore, in the past 100 years, except for Shiba Kaiyan, there has not been a genius who has attracted the attention of the entire Soul Society. In Urahara Kazuki's view, with the potential shown by Ling Yun, it is entirely possible to become a legend. Then, Urahara Kazuki, can we start training? Ling Yun took a deep breath and got ready. The store manager's words just now poured him a bowl of chicken soup, filling Ling Yun with energy. Brother Ling Yun, you are too impatient, don't you plan to take a hot spring first? Urahara Kazuki changed his seriousness just now and looked at Ling Yun with strange eyes. That look seemed to imply, you are such a fool. What the hell? The agreed time is running out. Who is it that has been seriously admonishing me just now? Ling Yun's eyelids twitched, and the store manager's expression seamlessly switched, which really caught him off guard. Brother Ling Yun, let's put aside the training, let's soak for 3 days and 3 nights first. Urahara Kazuki stretched, ignoring the bewildered Ling Yun, and walked directly to the edge of the hot spring. Thump, there was a crisp sound, water splashed everywhere, and the store manager jumped into the hot spring skillfully. It seems that I don't have a lot of hot springs, brother Ling Yun. What are you still doing? Urahara Kazuki breathed a sigh of relief after being soaked in the hot spring. Oh, some people don't know how to enjoy themselves. Puff. Ling Yun almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. Hey, store manager, who are you mocking? Don't think that if you use the aggressive method, I will take a hot spring with you. But, Ling Yun gritted her teeth and jumped into the hot spring as well. Sure enough, everyone can't escape the law of true fragrance. House diver time flies. 3 days passed in a blink of an eye. The 11th of Hado, Thunderbolt. Ling Yun's shout resounded and spread to every corner. I saw that his whole body was covered with a layer of bright thunder, which looked like a walking thunderbolt. Crackling. The sound of thunder roaring sounded one after another. The ground where Ling Yun was eroded by lightning, cracks visible to the naked eye occurred, and tiny cracks appeared one after another, like a spreading spider web. Mr. Urahara, I have fully mastered the 11th Hado, isn't the power and momentum not bad? Under the light of the thunder, Ling Yun's face looked extraordinarily handsome. It's amazing. Brother Ling Yun, how on earth did you manage to improve every Kido perfectly? Urahara Kazuki's exclamation followed. He was sitting on the stone ladder opposite, with a surprised expression on his bearded face. Before meeting Ling Yun, in terms of imagination and creativity alone, there were not many people who could be recognized by the store manager, and Kuretsuchi Miyuri, who was imprisoned in the maggot lair, was one of them. But now, Ling Yun's name is added to this list. Urahara Kazuki never imagined that a kid who had only practiced for less than a month would have such an outstanding Kido talent. He was even a little ashamed of himself. The store manager asked himself, if he really wanted to make a change, he really couldn't do it to the level of Ling Yun. One can imagine the shock in his heart. Mr. Urahara, thanks to your careful teaching, I was able to learn a new Kido in a short period of time. Although praised by the store manager, Ling Yun did not swell because of it. He remains humble and eager to learn more about Kido. With the unlimited skill points system, the only thing that hinders him from becoming stronger is not enough skills. So at the very beginning, after Urahara Kazuki proposed the practice plan, the two hit it off immediately, and the special training plan was launched in an orderly manner. In just 3 days, Ling Yun had several kinds of Kido. This is how the scene happened just now. Brother Ling Yun, everyone is so familiar, there is no need to say more polite words, I didn't help much at all. Urahara Kazuki said bluntly. Shop manager Urahara, you are indeed different from others. Ling Yun spread his hands helplessly. Most people will say a few polite words, a little meaning. The store manager is good, he never plays tricks and doesn't pay much attention to rules and squares. This made Ling Yun feel a little surprised. Oh he, brother Ling Yun, if you have to wear a hypocritical mask all the time when facing a young man, wouldn't it be too boring? Urahara Kazuki has always been optimistic. Compared with the cumbersome rules of jingling court and the complicated interpersonal communication in daily life, he is more enthusiastic about the research of scientific experiments. He has always maintained a frank side, which is also one of the biggest personality charms of the store manager. Okay, I've already learned how to fix lightning, let's move on to the next Hado. Urahara Kazuki walked down the stone stairs and came to Ling Yun. Hado number 12, Fuhuo, you should be very strange, right? Urahara Kazuki looked at Ling Yun. It's rare to get it wrong. Ling Yun nodded, but a strange light flashed in the depths of his pupils. Fuhuo, as the name suggests, is the fire attribute Kido. This means, as long as he learns this trick, he will be able to awaken the fire attribute talent. Mr. Urahara, let's start right away, I'm ready. Ling Yun's eyes became hot, and he couldn't wait to start trying. The fire attribute, Zanpakutō, occupies an important place in the soul societies long past. The most famous of them are Zanpakutō, the captain, and Ryujin Jaka, who bears the title of the strongest. The strength of Ryujin Jaka does not need too much introduction, it embodies the power of fire to the fullest, and is the most destructive Zanpakutō. The particularity of the fire attribute is self-evident. Of course Ling Yun is eager to realize the talent immediately. Actually, the principle of Fuhuo is very simple. The main point is to linearize Ryotsu, and then capture and attack the enemy. Urahara Kazuki briefly explained. Then, under Ling Yun's watchful eye, he gave up the chant and cast Hado. Hado's 12, volley the fire. With the sound of Urahara Kazuki's drink, the thin lines of flame Ryotsu spread continuously along the surrounding area, which immediately raised the temperature by a few degrees. See clearly, next, you can start practicing, and I will assist you in training. Urahara Kazuki reminded, and then returned to the stone ladder, acting as a spectator again. Let me try it, Ling Yun recalled briefly, and then imitated Urahara Kazuki's movements. Started the practice process over and over again. Time flies. An afternoon passed in a blink of an eye. Ding! Congratulations to host, the Volt fire level has been raised to LV2. Congratulations to host, the Volt fire level has been raised to LV3. Congratulations to host, the Volt fire level has been raised to LV4. Congratulations to host, the Volt fire level has been raised to LV99. The system prompts sounded continuously. After an afternoon of practice, under the guidance of Urahara Kazuki, Ling Yun mastered this move effortlessly, and clicked it to the full level in one breath. Ding! Congratulations to host, you have obtained an extra talent, the fusion of fire attributes. The expected scene really happened. After raising Fuhuo to the full level, additional talents were awakened at the same time. After the thunder attribute, not long after, Ling Yun has mastered another attribute again. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun. Identity: Young Master Shihouin. Ryotsu: 280 Shunpo, 450/138 white hits, 148. Hado: Chong, Max, Bailey, Max, Thunderbolt, Max, Fuhuo, Max. Bakudo: Plug, Max. This rope, Max, Collapse wheel, Max. Talents: Thunder Affinity, Fire Affinity, Ryotsu Augment, Hado Augment. Skill points. At #% at hash. The properties panel has a new look. In addition to the changes in skills and talents, Ling Yun's various attributes have increased slightly, and his overall strength has improved significantly. You know, it's only been a few days of practice, and it's hard to imagine the changes in 3 months. At that time, not to mention the admissions assessment, even crushing students of the same level, or even surpassing senior students is no problem. Ling Yun, it's almost time. Let's demonstrate the fire for the last time, and then today's training will end here. Urahara Kazuki nodded on the stone ladder. Mr. Urahara, I hope you don't lose your temper later. Ling Yun said confidently. He has already been able to meet, and then Urahara Kazuki, seeing the expression after the full level Fuhuo. Chapter 10 Inspiration suddenly came. Ads by Bid Gear. Over time. Training has come to an end. Ling Yun, it's almost time. Let's demonstrate the fire for the last time, and then today's training will end here. Urahara Kazuki nodded on the stone ladder. Mr. Urahara, I hope you don't lose your composure later, Ling Yun said confidently. He has been able to meet, and then Urahara Kazuki, seeing the expression after the full level Fuhuo. Well, brother Ling Yun, it seems that you are quite confident. Urahara Kazuki's mouth slightly turned up. Come on, show it with all your strength, and let me see the results of your cultivation. No problem. Ling Yun pulled back a distance. Hado's 12, volley the fire. Without too many bells and whistles, Ling Yun directly gave up singing and cast Hado. Boom. Like a sign before a volcanic eruption, accompanied by a harsh bang, the air quickly became hot and dry. The sudden change immediately caught the store manager's attention. What did the kid do again? Urahara Kazuki frowned and looked at Ling Yun. Even if it is a way of singing completely, it is impossible to have such momentum, let alone cause a riot in the air. Who can resist such an operation? Mr. Urahara, as I said just now, you must not be surprised by this. The fun has just begun. Capturing the facial expression of the store manager, Ling Yun smiled with a sense of accomplishment. The inventor of Hogyoku was shocked and surprised one after another. Still quite exciting. Tisk tisk tisk, this is not surprising, let me see the power of the improved volley. With previous experiences, Urahara Kazuki was already prepared. Judging from the current situation, it is clear that Ling Yun, as always, has transformed Fuhuo. Although he was puzzled by this, the store manager did not intend to delve into it. After all, everyone has their own secrets, even himself. Mr. Urahara, beware of injury. Ling Yun released Hado instantly. Bang! The thin lines of the flame Ryotsu continuously spread along the surrounding area, pushing the temperature to the boiling point immediately. Actually, it's nothing different. Not long after this sentence was finished, Urahara Kazuki immediately regretted it. Within his line of sight, all the thin Ryotsu threads expanded rapidly, intertwined densely, and finally formed an impenetrable giant net of flames. This special huge flame net contains terrible high temperature inside. Once all the flames are erupted, it will instantly reduce the target to ashes. Urahara Kazuki felt his mouth go dry just by looking at it. As the third seed of the second team, he clearly felt threatened. Brother Ling Yun, I have to admit that you are really a Kido genius. Although she always seemed not to care about anything, this time Urahara Kazuki had to treat it with caution. Even if Ling Yun's current Ryotsu is only half of that of an ordinary soldier, it is because of the full level of skills and many passive talents. The power of Fuhuo is more than 10 times stronger than before. This forces the store manager to go all out to deal with it. 39 of Bakudo, the round gate fan. Without much time to think, Urahara Kazuki immediately countered. Condensed and formed by Ryotsu, a round protective shield blocked in front of him in seconds. The next moment, the huge net of volcanic fire was aimed at Urahara Kazuki, and the flames inside spewed out instantly. The flames rippled and the space distorted. A scorching smell quickly filled the air, with a faint sense of distortion. Facing Urahara Kazuki's eyes, the surging beam of flame struck heavily on the circular protective shield. It's a terrible high temperature. If you get hit, you'll have to shed a layer of skin. Urahara Kazuki's eyes shot a dangerous arc. Even with the circular gate blocking the front, he still felt that his skin was extremely dry. This feeling is like being in a cage of flames, and it seems that you have fallen into a situation from which you cannot escape. But this situation lasted for a short period of time and then disappeared. After all, Ryotsu is limited. Even if the power of the skill is increased by more than 10 times, it still cannot cause damage to a third seat. The raging flames quickly disappeared, and the temperature of the air cooled down quickly. What surprised Urahara Kazuki was that the round shield in front of him became fragmented. This confrontation turned out to be a tie. Shop manager Urahara, my Fuhuo didn't disappoint you, did it? Ling Yun stood opposite and smiled triumphantly. In a head-to-head confrontation, the store manager suffered a loss. Full of sense of accomplishment, Ling Yun, you are so outstanding. Now that I think about it, I really have to thank Yoruichi, otherwise I would have missed such a talented apprentice. Urahara Kazuki was not stingy with his praise. He is a genius in his own right, but Ling Yun's performance in the past few days has made the store manager feel a bit bleak. Mr. Urahara, thanks to your careful teaching and the special cultivation environment here, otherwise I would not have improved so fast. Ling Yun responded humbly. Okay, since you have performed well, let's stop today's training. Urahara Kazuki quickly stopped the topic. He stretched his muscles and planned to take a dip in the hot spring. And many more. Mr. Urahara, I suddenly had a new inspiration in the process of using the crouching fire just now. Just as the store manager was about to turn around and leave, Ling Yun's words made him stop abruptly. What, new inspiration? Ling Yun, don't you plan to transform Kido again? Urahara Kazuki was dumbfounded. Nima, just come. Dare to be inspired by Chinese cabbage? I also want to be so sudden, Urahara Kazuki complained silently inwardly. Ling Yun didn't play cards according to the routine, which made him feel that he couldn't understand the other party. Master Urahara, Fuhuo and Thunderbolt are essentially linearizing Ryotsu, right? Ling Yun asked seriously. That's right, both are attributes that transform Ryotsu, but one is fire attribute and the other is thunder attribute. Urahara Kazuki gave a positive answer. How about I combine the two attributes at the same time? Should it produce unexpected effects? Ling Yun suddenly had a bold guess. With the talent of Ryotsu amplification, he does have the possibility of fusing different attributes under the condition that the dual attributes of fire and thunder are compatible. Although it will be difficult to operate, once it is finally successful, it will become an unprecedented precedent. After all, among all Kido, except for the Xuanlen Konghuo pendant, there has never been a fusion of different attributes. Even the Xuanlen Konghuo pendant is just a fusion of the same attributes, releasing two different groups of flame explosions. One thought here. Ling Yun's eyes quickly became hot. He decided to give it a try. Chapter 11, Combining the Power of Kido. Ads by Bid Gear. Top 10 Sexiest Indian Girls. Who's your favorite? Reclama. Thinking of the infinite possibilities of merging attributes, Ling Yun's eyes quickly became hot. He decided to give it a go and give it a try. Brother Ling Yun, are you kidding me? Seeing Ling Yun's eagerness to try, the store manager couldn't help but wonder. A Kido that fuses two different attributes. The idea, while novel, has little chance of success. At least Urahara Kazuki had never heard of it before. Mr. Urahara, look at me. Do you think I'm joking? Ling Yun was full of energy, as if he had been injected with chicken blood. But Urahara Kazuki was interrupted the moment he opened his mouth. Mr. Urahara, if you don't even have the courage to try, don't you think this kind of life is a failure? Even if you fail, you won't have any regrets. Ling Yun expressed his inner thoughts intuitively. Indeed, you are right. Only by taking the first step bravely can you have the opportunity to explore more new things. Urahara Kazuki nodded in agreement, obviously resonating with these words. He couldn't help but recall that in his experiment log, there was a plan that had been put on hold, soul fusion. Based on a large number of virtual souls, a brand new thing is created. This is Urahara Kazuki's Soul Fusion project. Although this plan was conceived a long time ago, Urahara Kazuki has never started the plan due to limitations in both material and environment. Now Ling Yun's words are like a lighthouse in the dark night, suddenly dispelling all the darkness. Urahara Kazuki suddenly felt enlightened. It's ridiculous. I'm not even as good as a kid. If you have the chance, you must try it. Urahara Kazuki shook his head mockingly. Mr. Urahara, why are you suddenly in a daze? Just as Urahara Kazuki was talking to himself, Ling Yun's doubtful voice came from the front. No, it's nothing, I just remembered something. Urahara Kazuki came back to his senses and quickly returned to the topic. Ling Yun, just try as you said. Well, I'll try my best. Ling Yun nodded and took a deep breath. The 11th of Hado, Thunderbolt. Hado's 12, Volley the Fire. Ling Yun casts Hado while abandoning chanting. Most of the Ryotsu is consumed in the body, as the action becomes depleted in an instant. Thunder roared, flames danced. The linear Ryotsu thin line, part of it turned into flames, part of it turned into thunder, driven by Ling Yun's will, spread towards the surroundings. Surprisingly, the flame and thunder blended perfectly without any repulsion, and everything seemed natural. This scene surprised Urahara Kazuki again. Brother Ling Yun, although the effect is not bad, but overall, it doesn't seem to be completely integrated, and still belongs to two different Kido. Urahara Kazuki commented objectively. Mr. Urahara, I've also realized this. It is my ultimate goal to integrate flames and lightning. Ling Yun nodded. Let's rest for a while, I think you were quite weak. Urahara Kazuki encouraged with a chuckle. Don't worry, if you fail once, try again, and you will succeed in the end. The more you get in touch, the more you understand. For his apprentice, Urahara Kazuki became more and more pleasing to the eye. Among other things, just this kind of perseverance is very similar to myself back then. Time flies. An afternoon passed in a blink of an eye. Call, Mr. Urahara. The hot spring here is really miraculous. After just soaking for an afternoon, the Ryotsu in my body has almost recovered. Ling Yun's emotional voice sounded. Ling Yun came out of the hot spring and stretched comfortably, feeling energetic. Oh heh. The hot spring here was created by a certain important person, and it was only a replica. Urahara Kazuki said with a hearty smile. Isn't it? The replica has such an effect? Ling Yun smashed his tongue in surprise. If there is a chance, I really want to experience the authentic hot spring. Tisk tisk tisk. Brother Ling Yun, I'm afraid your idea will come to naught. Even I can't enter the place where the big man is. Urahara Kazuki made a joke, and then stopped the topic. Okay, let's stop chatting here, and then you can continue training. I understand. Ling Yun nodded and walked towards the open space. During this process, he kept recalling what Urahara Kazuki said just now. He is 80% sure that the big man mentioned by the store manager should be one of the members of Team Zero, Kilinji Tianshiro. This man with the airplane head hairstyle has the special title of Quantong Ghost, and is the manager of the Lingfan Lydian Qilin Palace. Yunohana Retsu's medical skills are taught by him personally, and he is also the only person who directly calls Yunohana by his name. Unexpectedly, at such an early time, the store manager met with Team Zero. No wonder he knew so many secrets. As expected, he knew about the existence of the Spirit King early in the morning. Ling Yun briefly speculated. He became more and more curious about the store manager's past. Such an unfathomable genius, the only one recognized by Aizen, must have experienced some unknown events. If it is possible, you still have to inquire about it. Mr. Urahara, I'm starting. After coming to the center of the training ground, Ling Yun quickly put away his thoughts and started the morning training process. This time he didn't have a double chant, but a single Hado. The 11th of Hado, volley the fire. The linear Ryotsu thin lines spread continuously along the surroundings, and immediately pushed the temperature to the boiling point. However, in the process of spreading, the Ryotsu thin line changed and turned into a constantly beating thunder arc, and there was a redundant thunder power inside. It actually succeeded. Urahara Kazuki, who was sitting on the stone ladder watching, stood up in surprise after seeing the scene below. The thin lines of Ryotsu that diffuse around Ling Yun are in the shape of lightning arcs in appearance, but they exude scorching heat. Apparently 2 different properties are injected. It finally succeeded. As the person involved, Ling Yun was not too surprised. With his special talent, it is just a matter of his fingertips to fuse different attributes. As long as Ryotsu is enough, not to mention the 2 attributes of thunder and fire, 10 attributes can still be perfectly integrated. Boom. Then the roar of explosions sounded. The area where Ling Yun was bombarded indiscriminately by thunder, fire and lightning, and the ground suddenly became scorched black, exuding a pungent and unpleasant smell. Immediately afterwards, after just a few breaths, a huge hole appeared, and the surface of the training base was directly penetrated. Combining the power of Kido, it is fully displayed. Chapter 12 Little Brother, do you want some barbecue? Ads by Bid Gear exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama under Urahara Kazuki's watchful eye, all Ryotsu thin lines exploded with a bang. The area where Ling Yun was bombarded indiscriminately by thunder, fire and lightning, and the ground suddenly became scorched black, exuding a pungent and unpleasant smell. After just a few breaths, a huge hole appeared, and the surface of the training base was directly penetrated. Combining the power of Kido, it is fully displayed. It's too strong. It's really amazing power. Urahara Kazuki couldn't hide his excited expression. Witnessing the whole process from beginning to end, the visual senses brought by the dual attribute volts made the manager's heart shocked. Mr. Urahara, I've tried my best, but I can only go so far. Ling Yun breathed a sigh of relief. After all, this is the first attempt, and Ling Yun is quite satisfied with the current results. He is sure that as time goes by, the fusion attribute will become more and more proficient. Once multiple attributes are integrated, there is still unlimited room for growth in the future. Brother Ling Yun, I can give you 99 points for your performance today, and I'm afraid you will be proud if you lose 1 point. Urahara Kazuki walked down the stone stairs slowly, and started to play tricks when there was a disagreement. Shop manager Urahara, you are really humorous and very different from other people I have met. Ling Yun was also taken aback by what Urahara Kazuki said. Okay, that's the end of today's training. Ling Yun, take a bath in the hot spring and take a rest. I'll take you to Run Linon to have a good meal tonight. Urahara Kazuki came to the front and patted Ling Yun on the shoulder. Run Linon? Ling Yun's eyes suddenly brightened. The entire Rukongai, sorted by serial number, is divided into east, west, north, south, and a total of 320 blocks. The higher the serial number, the better the law and order, and the better the living conditions. On the contrary, the same reason. Those blocks at the end of the serial number have extremely bad security and living environment, even water and food are extremely scarce, and life may even be in danger at any time. It is the block with the first serial number. Runlinon is the most bustling place in Rukongai. Especially at night, you can see dense figures of people everywhere, as well as a variety of shops, surrounded by a lively and prosperous atmosphere. No doubt, this is definitely the best place for recreation. What, brother Ling Yun, you didn't go to Linon, did you? Urahara Kazuki looked suspicious. The dignified young head of the Shihouin family, the candidate for the next head of the family, has never left the jingling court? Who would believe this? Ahem. I usually stay at home, except for practicing in the mansion. I basically never go out. Ling Yun coughed slightly in embarrassment. Facing Urahara Kazuki's questioning, he wished he could dig a hole and bury himself. Oh he, can't you tell, what a waste of such a handsome face. Urahara Kazuki raised his eyebrows lightly, and complimented Ling Yun by the way. Hurry up and rest for a while, we will set off as soon as it gets dark. Urahara Kazuki greeted, and then wandered around leisurely. Ling Yun nodded, then went to the hot spring, took a comfortable bath. Nighttime. The two arrived in Runlinon as scheduled. Mr. Urahara, this place is much more lively than I imagined, and I saw a lot of Shinigami figures along the way. Ling Yun kept looking around. As he said, the streets of the night market are very popular, and lively shouts can be heard everywhere. In addition to the local residents, even the Shinigami who live in Jingling Tay will come here in groups at night. However, to Ling Yun's disappointment, the Shinigami he met along the way were almost all non-named characters, and he didn't meet any familiar characters. Brother Ling Yun, let me give you some science. Urahara Kazuki patiently explained, whether it's a team member or an officer, even Captain Shinigami will occasionally haunt Runlinon. So don't be surprised when you meet Shinigami, maybe others are more surprised than you. After Urahara Kazuki finished speaking, he deliberately hinted with his eyes. Sure enough, when Ling Yun looked in that direction, he found a group of people were watching the two of them whispering, as if discussing something in secret. Mr. Urahara, you seem to have been recognized. Ling Yun sighed with pretended regret. It's a pity that I'm just an unknown person, and I don't know me at all. Tisk tisk tisk, brother Ling Yun, you really know how to joke. Urahara Kazuki took out a folding fan, put it in front of him and waved it leisurely. Captain Yoruichi's brother, if your identity is revealed, there will be riots in this street. Not to mention, you have a handsome face. Boys must pay attention to safety when going out, and be careful that they will be abducted by some big sisters later. Urahara Kazuki made a timely joke. Mr. Urahara, don't make fun of me, who would like a kid? Ling Yun couldn't laugh or cry. Arrive, just then. Urahara Kazuki stopped suddenly, looked up and saw a house in front of him. Mr. Urahara, is this the izakaya you mentioned? Ling Yun observed curiously. Look up. The izakaya, the entire house is very large, the overall decoration is high-end and grand, the exterior wall is painted with a layer of red paint, and under the illumination of the light, it reflects a faint red luster. The most eye-catching thing is the huge signboard above the roof, with a few large characters inlaid on it, Drunk and Immortal. Brother Ling Yun, don't underestimate this izakaya. It is a century-old brand. Not only the Shinigami of Gode 13, but also the nobles of Jingling Court often come here to patronize. Urahara Kazuki deliberately emphasized over again. Yoruichi had brought him here a few years earlier, so Urahara Kazuki knew all about it. Mr. Urahara, I am afraid that except for Shinigami and nobles, ordinary people should rarely be able to afford it. Ling Yun only observed the luxury for a while, and felt the luxury inside. You're really right. If it wasn't for Captain Yoruichi's treat, I wouldn't have come here to spend money. But don't worry, I will pay for all the expenses tonight, Urahara Kazuki said with some distress while touching her pocket quietly. Puff. You will pay for the consumption of the whole venue? Is the store manager planning to incarnate as Mr. Zhao? Ling Yun almost screamed out of laughter. He is not a hypocritical person, since the store manager said so, then let him be slaughtered. Immediately afterwards, led by Urahara Kazuki, the two walked into the izakaya one after the other. But, after the two entered the gate, just as they found a place to sit down, there was a molesting voice from the side. Little brother, do you want a skewer of barbecue? Ling Yun looked towards the source of the sound, but found a familiar face. Chapter 13 Chicken, You Are So Beautiful, ads by Big Gear. Exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama, little brother, do you want a skewer of barbecue? After the two entered the gate, just as they found a place to sit down, there was a molesting voice from the side. Ling Yun looked towards the source of the sound, but found a familiar face. It turned out to be her. Ling Yun didn't expect it either. Just walking on the street, he kept searching, trying to find a familiar plot character. Unexpectedly, I didn't find it outside, but I met it in the izakaya. Huh, isn't this Lisa's vice captain? I didn't expect you to come to the Drunken Fairy. Urahara Kazuki also looked over and recognized the other party's identity at a glance. That's right. The owner of this voice is a woman with braids, a pair of gold-rimmed glasses, and a black suit, who looks exactly like a schoolgirl. The current deputy captain of the 8th Division, one of the future members of the Masked Legion. Yadomaru Lisa. Yadomaru Lisa. I met her here unexpectedly. This mature, calm and a bit uninhibited girl, no wonder she openly teased me. Ling Yun thought silently for a while. Ling Yun clearly remembers that in the original plot, when Yadomaru Lisa first appeared, she was wearing a special sailor suit and always held a swimming magazine in her hand. With her lusty personality, it's not surprising that she likes little boys. Urahara 3 seats, I also want to say the same thing, but who is this cute little boy? Yadomaru Lisa's gaze stayed on Ling Yun. Under the silver gold-rimmed glasses, there was a wolf-like gaze, as if it wanted to eat Ling Yun. Gulu. He was stared straight at by the other party, and it was still the same look. Ling Yun swallowed tremblingly. He had no doubt that if Urahara Kazuki hadn't been there, he would have been kidnapped by the other party. 30 is like a wolf, 40 is like a tiger. This sentence is not a joke. Apparently he was being targeted by Yadomaru Lisa. Vice Captain Lisa, brother Ling Yun is the treasure of Captain Yoruichi's palm. I advise you to be kind. Urahara Kazuki said jokingly. Captain Yoruichi. Yadomaru Lisa frowned curiously. Urahara Sanshi, don't tell me, he is Captain Yoruichi's younger brother? That's right, he really is Captain Yoruichi's younger brother. Urahara Kazuki's answer immediately left the other party speechless. Yakimaru Lisa was speechless. She herself didn't expect that the little boy she casually teased turned out to be Yoruichi's own brother. This luck is no one else. Third seat Urahara, you're not bluffing me, are you? Yadomaru Lisa had a disbelieving expression on his face. I've never heard of it, Captain Yoruichi has such a young brother. But having said that, he is quite handsome, such a face can be eaten as food. In the case of a disagreement, Yadomaru Lisa flirts with Ling Yun again. Obviously, the identity of Shihouin has no effect on her. But this time, Ling Yun didn't respond to Yadomaru Lisa's teasing. That is because, the system prompt sounded suddenly. Ding! A warm reminder, a triggering task will appear, do you want to choose it immediately? Without warning, a temporary task was accidentally triggered. What the hell? So there are random missions? Ling Yun felt a little surprised. He clicked on the information bar without thinking, and soon saw the task content. Random task. Chicken, you are too beautiful. Task content. Within the specified time limit, say, please eat chicken, to Yakimaru Lisa face to face, and invite her to eat a chicken leg, and the specified time limit is 1 hour. Task reward. All attributes plus 50. After silently reading all the information, Ling Yun raised his head subconsciously and looked at Yakimaru Lisa. Now it's your turn to tease each other. This random mission is really a mess. Looking at Lisa Sauce's face, Ling Yun was speechless again. Chicken, you are so beautiful. Invite people to eat chicken legs. What kind of messy task is this? Brother Ling Yun, what's the matter? Why are you silent all of a sudden? Urahara Kazuki, who has been in jingling for many years, can tell at a glance that Ling Yun seems to have something to say. No. Let's forget it. Ling Yun thought about it, but finally didn't say it. He felt that this task was too ghostly. There is no one who treats someone to eat chicken when they meet for the first time. Chicken, you are too beautiful. I also sing, dance, rap, and basketball. But whenever Ling Yun saw the generous rewards of the mission, Ling Yun couldn't help but feel excited again. All attributes plus 50. In addition to Kido, improving strength in all aspects as much as possible is what Ling Yun urgently needs at present. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Well, Mr. Urahara, why don't we order first? After careful consideration, he decided to give it a try. Okay, look at the menu, just order whatever you want, don't be polite to me. While Urahara Kazuki was speaking, his heart was still bleeding. After a meal, the purse was empty. Who can stand this? Mr. Urahara, in addition to the specialty wine here and some accompanying dishes, how about a big plate of chicken? Ling Yun picked up the menu and ordered as a matter of course. Big plate chicken? You can have this. Although it was a bit strange, Urahara Kazuki thought about it and nodded in agreement. Is there anything else you want to eat? Gone? That's it for now. If it's not enough, I'll order it later. Urahara Kazuki put down the menu, suppressed the bleeding in his heart, and called the waiter to place an order. Yo, can't you tell? You don't have a big appetite at a young age. Lisa-chan's voice came again from the table next to her. Oh hehehe. Vice Captain Yakimaru, since you ordered so many dishes, why don't you share a table with us later? Urahara Kazuki began a polite conversation. Yeah, shall we eat chicken together later? Ling Yun added. It's fine if you share a table, but you can consider it if you eat chicken. While saying these words, Yakimaru Lisa blinked at Ling Yun specially. It's done. The task reward is coming soon. Ling Yun understood the other party's eyes. When the big plate chicken comes up, he will act immediately. At that time, the task rewards will naturally come at hand. After half a sound, the waiters at the izakaya brought the dishes to the table one after another, including Ling Yun's most anticipated big plate chicken. The golden and crispy chicken exudes a fragrant smell and looks very attractive. Of course, none of this matters. For Ling Yun, the most important thing is to complete the requirements of random tasks. That is to invite Yakimaru Lisa to eat chicken drumsticks. Chapter 14, Famous Before Entering School? Ads by Bidgear. It was the worst day of her life and it was captured on camera. Reclama exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama. Urahara 3 seats, such a plate of chicken, there are only 2 of you? Looking at the food on the table next door, Yakimaru Lisa couldn't help but said. At her own table, apart from a jug of wine, there were only some simple cold dishes, which looked a bit shabby in comparison. Vice Captain Lisa, why don't you come and share a table together? Urahara Kazuki smiled lightly. Yes, let's share the table together, I want to treat you to chicken. Ling Yun waits for opportunities. Well, it seems that for the sake of little Ling Yun, I will reluctantly join you. Yakimaru Lisa looked at Ling Yun and winked deliberately. Actually, she is not familiar with Urahara Kazuki. Even if they had met beforehand, it was only a polite greeting at most, and there was not much communication in private. And with Yakimaru Lisa's character, she is not very good at doing things like combining tables. Now it's all for Ling Yun's sake. After all, the little boy's attraction is irresistible. Sister Lisa, my name is Ling Yun, please give me your advice in the future. Seeing Yakimaru Lisa sitting down, Ling Yun became in a good mood and greeted her enthusiastically. Ling Yun. I remember this name, you should be Yoruichi's youngest brother, right? I only heard of Yushiro before. Yakimaru Lisa asked curiously. That's right, Yushiro is my big brother and I seldom go out, and I've always been an unknown person, Ling Yun explained politely. Tisk tisk tisk. No one? Not from now on. Yakimaru Lisa stared at Ling Yun intently, with a playful arc drawn at the corner of her mouth. I have such a handsome face, thanks to my sister, I was the first to find out, otherwise I would be taken advantage of by others. In front of Urahara Kazuki, Yakimaru Lisa's eyes lit up, and she began to flirt with Ling Yun again. No way. Ling Yun's handsome and immature face is just right for Yakimaru Lisa's appetite, as if it has poked the softness deep in her heart. Ahem. Vice Captain Lisa, let's have a chicken leg first. Urahara Kazuki coughed lightly, glanced at Ling Yun from the corner of his eye, and shrugged helplessly. Facing Yakimaru Lisa's teasing, Ling Yun had a harmless expression on his face, and he didn't reject it in any way. On the contrary, he looked like he was determined by the other party. Little Ling Yun, did you invite your sister for this meal? Yakimaru Lisa took a chicken leg and nimbly bit off a piece of meat. It's done. Ling Yun immediately breathed a sigh of relief. After acting for so long, the task was finally completed. Next, you can look forward to a wave of system rewards. As predicted, after just a few seconds, the system prompt sounded. Ding! Congratulations host, you have completed the random task, you are so beautiful. Task reward, all attributes plus 50. Hearing the mission prompt, Ling Yun was overjoyed and couldn't wait to open the properties panel. After getting rich rewards, the attribute panel has a new look. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun. Identity: Young Master Shihouin. Ryatsu: 330 Shunpo, 500 / 188 white hits, 198. Hado: Chong, Max, Bailey, Max, Thunderbolt, Max, Fuhuo, Max. Bakudo: Plug, Max. This rope, Max, Collapse Wheel, Max. Talents: Thunder Affinity, Fire Affinity, Ryatsu Augment, Hado Augment. Skill points. At #% at hash. Ling Yun's various attributes have increased significantly, and his overall strength has improved significantly. More importantly, the value in Shunpo's column has already reached the standard of an ordinary team player. Finally took the first step. By the way, Sister Lisa, don't you feel bored drinking alone? Ling Yun took a sip of the wine, put down the glass in his hand, and asked curiously. Little devil, I can't tell, you still care about my sister. Yakimaru Lisa raised her eyebrows suggestively. It's rare that you want to ask your sister to drink together. If so, I'm really looking forward to it. Puff. Ling Yun was speechless. Yakimaru Lisa is more like a royal sister than he expected. Fortunately, Urahara Kazuki was on the side, otherwise Ling Yun would have believed that sentence, boys should protect themselves when they go out. Don't think about it, my sister is just teasing you. If something really happens, Captain Yoruichi will not spare me. Seeing Ling Yun's dazed look, Yakimaru Lisa chuckled. Is that a coincidence? Ling Yun continued to ask. It doesn't count. I had a date with a few friends, but I didn't expect them to let me go. Yakimaru Lisa complained a little, and took a big gulp of wine into her mouth. Vice Captain Lisa, the friends you mentioned should refer to Captain Hiriko and the others, Urahara Kazuki guessed. That's right, it's those abominable guys who originally agreed to drink together, but they broke the appointment temporarily. I really don't know what to do. Yakimaru Lisa nudged her gold-rimmed glasses, her face full of displeasure. What, it turns out that the Masked Legion formed a gang so early. Ling Yun muttered to himself full of surprise. He had thought that after the Hollow incident, the Masked Corps would become close partners. But now, it seems that this group of people were already close friends more than 100 years before the start of the plot. It's a pity, this period of time should be their last glory. Recalling the future fate of the Masquerade Corps, Ling Yun felt deeply in his heart for a while. Captain, Deputy Kido Chief. Every member of the Masked Legion occupies a high position, holds an important position in Godai 13, and is a famous big shot in the Soul Society. They should have been respected by outsiders, enjoyed high status and glory, and become the objects of worship of countless younger generations. But because of that accident, everyone's fate has changed. Unaccepted by the same kind, hunted down by Godai 13, he didn't even dare to expose his traces easily, so he could only hide in the present world, wandering on the edge of the human world. Because of the persecution of Aizen, instead, the Masked Legion has become a group of aliens. If the future changes, their fate will also be different, right? Thinking of this, Ling Yun couldn't help feeling emotional. Little Ling Yun, why have you been in a daze? Could it be that you were just perfunctory to your sister? Just when Ling Yun was lost in thought, Yakimaru Lisa began to tease her again. No, I was just distracted just now. Ling Yun quickly came to his senses and explained in a panic. It's so cute, thanks to the Urahara 3 seats, I accidentally found a treasure boy. Yakimaru Lisa was amused by Ling Yun's panic. Little Ling Yun, after returning to Jingling Court, I will definitely introduce you to Bai and the others. Yakimaru Lisa stared at Ling Yun with a sly smile. Just wait to be famous. Chapter 15 The Store Manager's New Invention. Ads by Bid Gear. The hidden messages in Whale's family photos. Reclama exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama the next day. To the north of Shuangji Hill, directly below the Shuangjiding platform. That secret training base. Ling Yun, are you finally awake? Urahara Kazuki's voice broke the tranquility of the surrounding area. Hey, am I hungover? Ling Yun opened his eyes in a daze, and the first thing he saw was Urahara Kazuki's face with a faint smile. He woke up immediately. He was drunk last night. Shop manager Urahara, didn't I cause any trouble last night? Ling Yun quickly lifted the quilt, took a subconscious look, and finally breathed a sigh of relief after confirming that the clothes were intact. Fortunately, the worst fears did not happen, otherwise. This little piece of fresh meat of myself will suffer in vain. Oh heh. Brother Ling Yun, you are right to be worried. Deputy Captain Yakamaru bullied you for being too young to drink, and even planned to take you away when you were drunk. Of course, I will not let this happen. Urahara Kazuki swayed the folding fan leisurely, with a playful arc drawn at the corner of his mouth. Are you bullying me when I'm young? Ling Yun secretly clenched his fists. When he grows up a few more years, whoever will take the initiative may not be sure. Lisa-chan, wait. The day will come soon. Ling Yun, should you be sober? Can you continue training in the afternoon? Urahara Kazuki quickly changed the subject. He was more concerned about the progress of the special training. In fact, Ling Yun's performance a few days ago completely exceeded his expectations. Even if the pace is slowed down in the future, according to the current practice progress, the plan can still be perfectly realized in 3 months. But the more you get in touch, the more surprised you feel. Witnessing Ling Yun's outstanding talent with his own eyes, Urahara Kazuki did not intend to slow down, and he even changed his original plan, no longer limited to the category of low-level Kido. In other words, Urahara Kazuki plans to step up his training. He is even more eager than Ling Yun himself to maximize Kido's talent. Let's see where the ultimate limit is. Mr. Urahara, although my head is still dizzy, I can already train normally. Ling Yun patted himself on the forehead. Okay, brother Ling Yun, you should familiarize yourself with all the Kido you have mastered in the past few days, and adjust your state first. Urahara Kazuki nodded slightly, and then raised his voice a few octaves. Also, I suddenly remembered that there is an object that is especially suitable for you in my laboratory. What object? Ling Yun's appetite was instantly whetted. You will know later that although this object is a counterfeit, it can help you improve your strength in all aspects. Urahara Kazuki deliberately sold a trick. Mr. Urahara, you're not fooling me, are you? Is it really as amazing as you say to increase your strength in all directions? Ling Yun said with a half-believing attitude. Don't believe me? Don't show any surprise later. Urahara Kazuki chuckled heartily. He seemed to have foreseen Ling Yun's performance in the future. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, it was afternoon. The 11th of Hado, Thunderbolt. Ling Yun's shout resounded and spread to every corner. I saw that his whole body was covered with a layer of bright thunder, which looked like a walking thunderbolt. Crackling. The sound of thunder roaring sounded one after another. If there were outsiders present and saw what happened at the scene, they would definitely not be able to help but exclaim. That's because flickering sparks were mixed with the terrifying thunder, which contained scorching heat. It is obvious. The fire attribute Ryotsu is integrated into the full-level thunderbolt. The effect is not bad. From now on, every Kido can perfectly integrate the two attributes of thunder and fire. Ling Yun put away Ryotsu in satisfaction. The injection of fire attribute and thunder attribute. It will greatly increase the power of Kido. This is a heaven-defying cheating method. Water attribute, earth attribute, wind attribute, light attribute, dark attribute. I don't know what kind of qualitative change will happen to Kido after all the attributes are fused. Ling Yun expects more and more to be able to master multiple attributes. Perhaps by that time, every Kido he has mastered will break through to a whole new level. Just then, at the entrance of the training base, Urahara Kazuki's voice came. Brother Ling Yun, I'm back. I brought back what you wanted. Ling Yun looked towards the source of the sound, and found that Urahara Kazuki was holding a long black cloth bag in his hand, which seemed to contain some kind of special instrument. Master Urahara, it is the imitation object you mentioned this morning? Could it be a Zanpakutō? Ling Yun guessed from the appearance. In a way, it's a Zanpakutō, just a half-finished product. Urahara Kazuki chuckled and snapped his fingers. Then, meeting Ling Yun's gaze, the store manager untied the belt and took out the items inside. Really, Zanpakutō? Ling Yun's eyes lit up instantly. In the hands of the store manager, there was a heavy sword with exquisite workmanship and a clean and flawless overall appearance. In appearance alone, it resembles Zanpakutō, a near-perfect imitation. That's right, it's a special container that I created in imitation of Zanpakutō. Urahara Kazuki raised the object in his hand and said triumphantly. Master Urahara, what is its specific function? Ling Yun calmed down and couldn't help asking curiously. It was the first time he had heard of imitating Zanpakutō, not to mention that the person who invented it was Urahara Kazuki. This aroused Ling Yun's curiosity even more. Although the appearance is similar, there are also some scabbards and sharp blades. But after all, it is an imitation. It is still fundamentally different from Zanpakutō. There is no inner soul space, and it can only guide Ryotsu. Urahara Kazuki slightly regretted, explaining the function a bit. Guiding Ryotsu, this is the most critical point, right? Ling Yun grasped the point instantly. He is very clear about the store manager's intentions, and he probably hopes to use this experimental product to guide the multi-attribute Ryotsu in his body. Mr. Urahara, if you guessed right, are you going to do training next? Ling Yun asked back. That's right, brother Ling Yun, it seems that you are ready. Urahara Kazuki came to Ling Yun and handed the imitation sword to Ling Yun. In the next few days, you will use this Teidao to guide 2 different types of Ryotsu, so as to enhance the power of the slash. Urahara Kazuki proposed a general training policy. Mr. Urahara, I understand. The moment Ling Yun received the taidao, Ling Yun was full of energy. This tachi specially made by the store manager is simply tailor-made for him. Chapter 16 Enhanced Ads by Big Gear exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama, you have coronavirus. Now what happens? Reclama. After half a sound. In the center of the training base, thick fog drifted away from the hot spring, and a large amount of water vapor floated in midair. Ling Yun held a special taidao in his hand, and swung it sweating profusely, repeating the movements over and over again. The posture is quite standard, but the movement of swinging the knife is a bit blunt. It seems that Captain Yoruichi didn't teach slashing beforehand. Urahara Kazuki's voice came from the stone stairs not far away. From the beginning to the end, he has been observing Ling Yun's training process. However, to the disappointment of the store manager, Ling Yun was like a blank slate in terms of slashing, basically not mastering too many skills. Obviously this has something to do with the particularity of Shihouin Yoruichi, after all, is known for being fast and special. In the original plot, although Yoruichi has a short blade Zanpakutō, it seems that he has never used it, and his name and ability are even more of a mystery. Think here. Urahara Kazuki was soon relieved. Brush. Wielding the taidao vigorously again, Ling Yun finally stopped his slashing training. Immediately, Urahara Kazuki's voice came from the opposite side. Ling Yun, what's the matter? Is it still possible to use this taidao? Mr. Urahara, after wielding it for so long, I have gradually gotten used to the feel of the taidao, but I still need to carefully grasp the strength of the slash. Ling Yun expressed his feelings frankly. Very good, the first step has been completed, and it's time to move on to the next stage. Urahara Kazuki jumped down the stone ladder and came to Ling Yun with a chuckle. What should I do specifically? Ling Yun asked. Ling Yun, you need to know something first. Urahara Kazuki raised his voice and emphasized with a serious face, the battle between Shinigami is essentially a collision of Ryotsu, so the strength of Ryotsu is not only related to Kido, but also related to the power of slashing. You will try it later, inject a part of Ryotsu into this taidao, and you will be able to see a significant effect later. Urahara Kazuki suggested. I understand. Ling Yun took a deep breath. Holding the handle firmly with both hands, pour Ryotsu in a steady stream as Urahara Kazuki requested. Zzz. Accompanied by a crisp sound, something unexpected happened to Ling Yun. After injecting part of Ryotsu, the originally ordinary taidao actually had subtle electric arcs on the surface, as if it had acquired the power of thunder. This is. The beating arc of lightning was reflected in the eyes, and Ling Yun's eyes widened in surprise. I'm afraid it is the lightning attribute Zanpakutō that will have such an effect. Brother Ling Yun, I am really amazed. The Ryotsu in your body is really different. Urahara Kazuki also showed a shocked expression on his face. Although there was speculation in advance, seeing what happened in front of my eyes made the shock more intuitive. The scene before him undoubtedly confirmed one thing. Once Ling Yun gets a sealed state, he will definitely awaken the lightning element Zanpakutō. After drawing this inference, Urahara Kazuki was excited. Thunder Zanpakutō, this is the past of Soul Society, there are not many examples. Once awakening a Zanpakutō of the lightning system, it will rise to a large extent, and it is no problem to become a rising star. Mr. Urahara, why don't you try your power? Holding the taidao in his hand, feeling the power in it, Ling Yun said eagerly. Although he is not proficient in slashing, Ling Yun can clearly sense it after being injected with the thunder attribute Ryotsu, and his slashing has been improved qualitatively. Did you see that big tree? Make a strong sword towards it. Urahara Kazuki pointed to the distance. At the end of his line of sight, stood a towering tree. No problem. Ling Yun raised Zanpakutō, pointed the tip of the sword at the tree trunk, and then swung it neatly. Brush, the hand raised the knife and fell, and the slash came out. A slash containing the power of thunder, with a lightning arc on its surface, passed through the air at an extremely fast speed, and precisely hit the trunk of the big tree. Boom! After the deafening bang, the entire towering tree fell down, and there were broken branches and sawdust everywhere. The scene suddenly became a mess. Good job! Urahara Kazuki's praise came out of his mouth. The power of this slash was stronger than he expected, and it brought the store manager a huge surprise. Master Urahara, thanks to this taidao, it is perfectly compatible with my Ryotsu. Ling Yun gripped the taidao tightly, showing an overjoyed expression. Although it is just an imitation sword, the product produced by the store manager must be a high-quality product. Relying on this taidao, Ling Yun 100% exerted the particularity of his own Ryotsu. More importantly, this is just a first try. It is not difficult to imagine that with the accumulation of time, the power of slashing will gradually strengthen. Ling Yun, the tools only play an auxiliary role, and the most important thing is to rely on yourself. Urahara Kazuki showed a gratified expression on his face. Assuming the role of mentor for the first time, you can teach an excellent apprentice. There is nothing more comforting than this. However, in addition to the thunder attribute, you should also have the fire attribute Ryotsu? Urahara Kazuki asked expectantly. Let me try again. Ling Yun nodded with confidence. Thunder attribute Ryotsu, endowed with specific properties, greatly enhancing the power of slashing. What about fire attribute Ryotsu? What effect will it bring? Ling Yun is also full of expectations immediately afterwards. Ling Yun repeated the same trick again, choosing a towering tree as a target, and swung the sword at it with all his strength. Everything was like a movie rewinding. A slash entangled in flames, crossed the air at an extremely fast speed, and hit the trunk of the big tree with precision. After the deafening bang, the entire towering tree fell down, and there were broken branches and sawdust everywhere. Clatter clatter. The temperature in the room rose sharply, and the moisture in the air evaporated rapidly. A large number of flames spread out on the ground, forming a raging sea of flames, and detonated the boiling point of the air. Similar to the previous slash, Ling Yun's second slash also contained distinctive features. What a powerful power! After incorporating the fire attribute Ryotsu, the power of slashing has also been greatly improved. Urahara Kazuki seemed to have turned on the shock mode. Looking at the blazing flames, he couldn't help sighing again and again. The double attribute Ryotsu, the increase brought by it, even he is excited. Mr. Urahara, I can clearly feel that the two strands of Ryotsu can merge with each other and be perfectly injected into the slash, Ling Yun said affirmatively. Slash is similar to Kido. In the case of awakening talents, it is not difficult to integrate multi-attribute Ryotsu. Ling Yun has full confidence. Urahara Kazuki was silent. Whether it is the improved version of Kido, or the multi-attribute Ryotsu, or the enhanced version of slash, Ling Yun really brought too many surprises. Celebrate the 7-day-long holiday of National Day and enjoy reading books. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 17 Unprecedented 3 Attributes. Ads by Bid Gear. Ling Yun, your talent is really outstanding. Urahara Kazuki had a surprised expression on his face. Whether it is the improved version of Kido, or the multi-attribute Ryotsu, or the enhanced version of slash, Ling Yun really brought too many surprises. Mr. Urahara, we are so close, so we can avoid exchanging business bragging? Faced with Urahara Kazuki's praise, Ling Yun responded in a joking manner. Oh heh. Ling Yun, the most outstanding talent in the past century, I am not exaggerating in describing it like this, you don't need to be humble. Urahara Kazuki swayed the folding fan leisurely. By the way, Mr. Urahara, now that I have mastered the basic skills of fusion slashing, is it time to teach me the new Kido? Ling Yun said expectantly. Fire attribute Affinity, Thunder attribute Affinity. In addition to these two attributes, Ling Yun hopes to master more attributes. The power of the enhanced slash seemed to allow him to open a door and see another road leading to the top of Shinigami. The most critical place is to master multiple attributes. Ling Yun. Urahara Kazuki had an expression of understanding everything, and then put on a bright smile. Actually, you don't need to tell me, I happen to have the same idea. How about the next study style attribute, Kido? Urahara Kazuki's proposal was instantly approved. Mr. Urahara, I'm ready. Ling Yun couldn't wait to ask 3 times as if he had been pumped. What number is Hado? Is it easy to learn? How powerful is it? Ling Yun, you are too impatient. Urahara Kazuki took a deep look and shook his head dumbfounded. However, he quickly gave a complete answer. The 20th Hado, the Windbreaker, is similar in principle to the previous Hado, and is transformed by Ryotsu into a thin-lined wind blade. The wind breaks? Ling Yun recalled it carefully. For number 20 Hado, I don't have much impression. In fact, it's not bad for him. There are many gaps in Hado and Bakudo in the original plot. In particular, there are only 4 types of Hado above 90, and the rest is a complete mystery. According to the talent you showed before, it stands to reason that you should be able to learn it in a day. Urahara Kazuki patted his shoulder and gave Ling Yun encouragement. Let's try it first. Ling Yun is full of confidence. Awakening the third attribute talent gave him unlimited motivation. The principle of Gufengpo, I have just explained. The main point is to linearize Ryotsu, and then form a sharp wind blade. Urahara Kazuki reminded again. Looking good. Then, under Ling Yun's watchful eye, he gave up the chant and cast Hado. Hado's 20, the wind breaks. With Urahara Kazuki's shout, the thin lines of Ryotsu, the linear wind blade, spread continuously along the surroundings, constantly kicking up dust on the ground. Immediately afterwards, a remarkable scene happened. Constantly blown by the wind blade, cracks of different depths appeared on the originally flat ground, and the whole area instantly became desolate. The power of the violent wind is vividly reflected. What a powerful force! Ling Yun, who was watching from the sidelines, couldn't help feeling emotional. Compared with the thunder and fire attributes, the wind attribute Hado has a larger coverage area and can cause a wide range of damage. See clearly. Next, you can start practicing, and I will assist you in training. Urahara Kazuki reminded, and then returned to the stone ladder, acting as a spectator as always. Let me try it. Ling Yun recalled briefly, and then imitated Urahara Kazuki's movements. Started the practice process over and over again. Hado's 20, the wind breaks. The first attempt failed. Although Ryotsu was successfully condensed, it was not transformed into a wind blade. Ling Yun followed up with a second attempt, which also failed but made significant progress. So that's it. After trying again and again, Proficiency continues to improve and the process of casting becomes smoother. Time flies. An hour passed in a blink of an eye. Ding! Congratulations to host, the level of Kwangfengpo has been raised to LV2. Congratulations to host, the level of Kwangfengpo has been raised to LV3. Congratulations to host, the level of Kwangfengpo has been raised to LV4. Congratulations to host, the level of Kwangfengpo has been raised to LV99. The system prompts sounded continuously. After an hour of practice, under the guidance of Urahara Kazuki, Ling Yun finally mastered the number 20 Hado, and clicked it to the full level in one breath. Ding! Congratulations to host, you have gained an extra talent, Wind Attribute Fusion. Then the expected scene happened. After upgrading the Windbreaker to the full level, the extra talent is awakened at the same time. Following the Thunder and Fire attributes, Ling Yun once again mastered another attribute. And following the change, there is also the system's property panel. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun. Identity: Young Master Shihouin. Ryatsu: 340 Shunpo, 505/206 white hits, 198. Hado: Chong, Max, Bailey, Max, Thunderbolt, Max, Fuhuo, Max. Bakudo: Plug, Max. This Rope, Max, Collapse Wheel, Max. Talents: Thunder Affinity, Fire Affinity, Wind Affinity, Ryatsu Boost, Hado Boost. Skill Points. At #**@#. On the system panel, in the column of talents, it can be clearly seen that the words, Wind Attribute Affinity, are added. This also means that Ling Yun has become the person who mastered 3 different attributes of Ryatsu at the same time, which is a unique precedent in the history of Soul Society. One day in the future, once he gets the sealed state and injects Ryatsu into it, must be able to awaken a Zanpakutō of the 3 attributes. This is the real heaven-defying place. Ling Yun, it seems that you have fully mastered it. Urahara Kazuki walked down the stone stairs slowly, and through continuous observation of Ling Yun, he has already seen some clues. That's right, store manager Urahara, I have been able to control 3 different Ryatsu. Ling Yun responded confidently. Ryatsu of 3 different attributes. Urahara Kazuki's expression instantly became complicated. As the strongest brain, with the highest IQ in the entire Soul Society, he knows and contacts far more things and secrets than ordinary people. 3 attributes of what Ryatsu means. Urahara Kazuki knows that better than anyone. He even began to secretly rejoice that he didn't reject Yoruichi's invitation, otherwise he would have missed a once-in-a-century super genius. Unprecedented 3 attributes, this is just practice. Given enough time to grow, the future Ling Yun will definitely be able to stand at the top of Shinigami. Chapter 18 Master-apprentice Showdown ads by Bid Gear. Inside the training base, the special training is proceeding in an orderly manner. After awakening another attribute talent, Ling Yun's Ryatsu has undergone a qualitative change. Thunder attribute, Fire attribute, Wind attribute. The perfect fusion of the 3 attributes, the strength and quality of the Ryatsu far exceeds that of the usual Shinigami possessed of Ryatsu. What's more, the difference becomes more pronounced as Ryatsu is enhanced. At that time, no need for other means, Ling Yun can easily crush opponents just by relying on Ryatsu. Mr. Urahara, don't you feel itchy hands while you've been watching the show? It's not good to just sit and sigh. Ling Yun put down the sword in his hand and raised his eyebrows suggestively. His purpose is very clear, to induce Urahara Kazuki to shoot. As the 3rd seed of the 2nd team and the future captain of the 12th team, various methods emerge in endlessly. The power of Urahara Kazuki is self-evident. Such a mysterious expert is definitely the best sparring partner. Ling Yun will naturally not miss this great opportunity. After hearing Ling Yun's words, Urahara Kazuki glanced at him casually. Yo, Ling Yun, it's only been a few days, and you have learned the aggressive method? Mr. Urahara, you are not scared by my Ryatsu, are you? Ling Yun stepped up his efforts. Cough cough cough. Originally, with the mentality of watching a play, she didn't intend to end the practice as a partner, but after hearing Ling Yun's words, Urahara Kazuki also choked on a mouthful of saliva. Pressed by your spirit. Scared? Urahara Kazuki deliberately elongated his tone like a repeater. Both helpless and speechless. All I could do was show a you're happy smile. Ling Yun, you will be hanged and beaten later, I hope you won't regret it. But jokes are jokes, Urahara Kazuki still restrained his attitude when it came to training. Hey, Mr. Urahara, I know you will be merciful. With the relationship between Ling Yun and the store manager, he naturally wouldn't take this joke seriously. Come on, Kido or Slash, you choose one. Urahara Kazuki had a nonchalant tone. In his eyes, no matter how amazing Ling Yun's talent is, he is just a brat after all. Can't pose any threat at all, can I have them all? Out of Urahara Kazuki's expectation, Ling Yun made a confident choice. It's not blindly inflated, nor is it full of self-confidence. Ling Yun has an all-round duel with the store manager purely with the mentality of realization. You must know that his goal is not limited to a certain aspect. Cut the fist and walk away the ghost. Ling Yun hopes that on every road, he can reach the ultimate. And now is obviously the best opportunity to practice. Interesting, you really deserve to be my apprentice, I just like your confidence. Urahara Kazuki was rarely serious for a while. After hearing Ling Yun's answer, he quickly returned to his original form. Ling Yun's slightly immature face, coupled with his confident words, makes the overall look unbearable. Urahara Kazuki couldn't hold back in the end. Come on, master will let you do 3 tricks first. Urahara Kazuki put on a posture of a master of the world. I will not show mercy after that. 3 moves. Enough. Ling Yun thought carefully for a while. Currently the strongest Kido he has mastered is the Galeful Windbreak he just learned. Although the serial number is only 20, but once the 3 different attributes are integrated, Ling Yun is still confident that he can threaten the opponent. Wind, fire, thunder. The superposition of 3 different attributes is not simply 1 plus 1. It will make the power of the windbreak to a whole new height. Okay, I'll just wait and see how you're going to defeat me. Urahara Kazuki didn't know what to say for a moment other than giggling. After half a sound, Ling Yun is ready to go, and all the Ryotsu in his body are continuously emitted. Hado's 20, the wind breaks. Then, under Urahara Kazuki's watchful eye, he abandons the chanting and casts Hado. The linearized Ryotsu thin lines turned into wind blades one after another, spreading continuously along the surroundings, violently kicking up the dust on the ground. Ling Yun, I taught you this trick. If you want to use it to defeat me, it's a bit too much for granted. Even the strong wind that hit the face blows away the hair on both sides of the cheeks. Urahara Kazuki remained indifferent throughout, still holding an attitude of watching a drama. But it hasn't been long. Huh? Something's wrong. The store manager's expression changed quickly. He could clearly sense that there was an imperceptible high temperature emanating from all the thin wind blade wires, which seemed to be accompanied by a weak current. It's so perfect. After Urahara Kazuki confirmed it again and again, he was so surprised that he could barely close his mouth from ear to ear. He never expected that in such a short period of time, Ling Yun perfectly transformed Kido again. The gale wind break that Ling Yun used was at least 10 times stronger than before. Mr. Urahara, you learn how to change your face, right? Why do you change your expression so quickly? Ling Yun's teasing voice came from the wantonly dancing windblade. Stinky boy, you dare to molest the master. As soon as Urahara Kazuki's words fell, his face changed again and again. That is because, in the oncoming Ryotsu wind, the store manager actually sensed the threat. Is it fake? Is there something wrong with my perception? Urahara Kazuki made a dumbfounded expression. With the strength of a captain, he was forced to maintain a high level of vigilance when facing a kid who had just cultivated. If it weren't for the facts, Urahara Kazuki really prefers to believe that she is dreaming. Clatter. Just when the store manager was thinking wildly, Ling Yun, who was standing opposite him, showed a bright smile. Not only because of the performance of the store manager, but also because of my own talent, Hado Boost. Open black lens bracket Hado amplification close black lens bracket, talent effect. Casting any Hado can enhance the power of Hado by absorbing spiritual seeds. The bonus range varies according to the concentration of spirit particles. The highest bonus is 10 times. According to the skill description, if you cast any Hado, you can get additional bonuses. But just now, Ling Yun clearly sensed that Kuang Feng Po had absorbed a large wave of spiritual seeds. The highest bonus has been vaguely reached. Mr. Urahara, be careful. With Ling Yun's thought, all the wind blades whizzed out. Almost in sync with the voice, when Urahara Kazuki reacted, the wind blade was already close at hand. This brat is really a mess. Urahara Kazuki's pupils shrank suddenly. He also didn't expect that when facing a kid, there would be times when the car would overturn. The power of Kuang Feng Po far exceeded his expectations. If I am defeated, I will lose all my face. After all, Urahara Kazuki is well informed, and he quickly adjusted his mentality and responded in seconds. Celebrate the 7-day-long holiday of National Day and enjoy reading books. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 19 ads by Bid Gear exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama, if I am defeated, I will lose all my face. Although I was amazed by Ling Yun's Hado, but Urahara Kazuki is well informed after all, he quickly adjusted his mentality and responded in seconds. The proud son of heaven, the Iron City Wall, the dragon's walk, the lion's roar, the tiger's roar, the wolf's run, cut off the world before it collapses. 81 of Bakudo, splitting void. There was no majestic shouting, only the name of Bakudo who was calm, and there was no movement of Urahara Kazuki, and the name of high-ranking Bakudo spit out from his mouth. Boom. The moment the words fell, a huge and incomparably transparent barrier stood in front of Urahara Kazuki, like a moat between heaven and man forever. The originally fierce wind blade was immediately blocked by this barrier. The moment the flame burst touched the barrier, a deafening bang suddenly came out. Under the surging impact of the wind blade, the transparent light curtain shook violently. But the scene Ling Yun expected didn't happen. It only lasted for a short while, and all the wind blades finally dissipated, and Kuang Feng Po's offensive was easily resolved. The result of this head-to-head confrontation ended with Urahara Kazuki's complete victory. Alas, it still fell short in the end. Ling Yun sighed somewhat dejectedly. It was thought that the tenfold bonus would be able to threaten Urahara Kazuki, but it was a pity that this wish finally came to nothing. Although this result was taken for granted, Ling Yun still felt a little regretful. Ling Yun, you should be having fun. Urahara Kazuki untied the splitting void, and spread his hands to show his innocence. You forced me. Even the splitting void was used, and it was still completely singing. Although he talked and laughed, he resolved Ling Yun's offensive. But Urahara Kazuki wasn't happy at all. He has the strength of a captain, but he was forced to this point by Ling Yun. No matter how optimistic the store manager's character is, he still feels a bit offended at this moment. Do not make jokes. If Yoruichi knows about this, it will be treated as a joke. Mr. Urahara, don't comfort me, my strength is still far behind. With Urahara Kazuki's affirmation, Ling Yun quickly regained his strength. Although the result is not satisfactory, however, through this duel, Ling Yun clearly realized the gap between himself and the captain-level Shinigami. This also gave him a clear goal to chase, but having said that, even if 3 different attributes are fused, the power of Kwangfengpo won't be that strong, right? Urahara Kazuki couldn't help asking. The serial number of 20 is there. No matter how strong the caster is, the power of Kwangfengpo has a rough range after all. It can exert more than 10 times the power beyond normal. Urahara Kazuki still meets this situation once. Mr. Urahara, I don't know too well, maybe it's because of the high concentration of spiritual particles here. Ling Yun began to play crazy and foolishly. He certainly won't reveal the secret of his talent. Really? Maybe. As a smart person, Urahara Kazuki has no intention of revealing Ling Yun's acting, even though he saw that Ling Yun was acting. This topic was quickly taken over. Okay, the Kido side is over, and it's time for the slash. Urahara Kazuki went to an instrument rack and took a wooden tachi from it. Ling Yun, although I'm not very good at slashing, it shouldn't be a problem if you give me some pointers. Urahara Kazuki raised the wooden sword in his hand, showing a light smile. Mr. Urahara, is an ordinary wooden sword somewhat contemptuous? Ling Yun gripped the sword tightly, his eyes bursting with burning intent. In addition to cutting fists and walking ghosts, Zanpakutō is the Shinigami's greatest source of power. Therefore, for every Shinigami, slashing is the most practical means. In the original plot, during the battle in Karakura town, he faced Gode 13 in the Masked Legion. Aizen didn't use any fancy means, just through ordinary slashing, he easily achieved the achievement of one captain with one knife. It can be seen the importance of slashing. Ling Yun, do you forget what I said before? The battle between the Shinigami is essentially the Ryotsu fighting against each other, so your words are meaningless at all. Whether it's a sword or a wooden sword, the result will not change in any way. In order to further blow Ling Yun's self-confidence, Urahara Kazuki whistled leisurely. Hi, how angry. It turned out that the store manager used the aggressive method instead. Knowing that the store manager deliberately teased her, Ling Yun couldn't refute it. The truth is, Ryotsu's gap is there, it's just a collision of slashes, he really has nothing to do with the opponent. But Ling Yun is not one to give up easily. The more impossible it is, the more he wants to challenge it. Shine. Without too much nonsense, Ling Yun directly raised the taidao and thrust it forward. The hand raised the knife and fell, and the slash came out. A thunder arc surrounds the surface, with flames inside and a strong wind on the edge. The appearance is a slash of 3 colors, passing through the air at an extremely fast speed. Aim straight for Urahara Kazuki. Sure enough, there's an extra attribute. Looking at the road in front of him, the slash coming galloping. The smile on Urahara Kazuki's face froze instantly. He no longer slacked off, and also burst into Ryotsu, swinging the wooden sword with all his might. Shine. Accompanied by a crisp crashing sound. The slash struck by Ling Yun hit the wooden sword heavily, sparking bright sparks immediately. Fire, thunder, wind. The sudden explosion of 3 different attributes brought a strong visual effect. Well, not even Urahara Kazuki himself expected it. He actually let out a muffled grunt, and stepped back a few steps, his feet rubbing against the ground to create an obvious mark. Although he quickly stood firm, Urahara Kazuki still slapped him in the face at that moment. He obviously suffered some dark losses. Hey, Mr. Urahara, who said it was meaningless just now? I must have heard it wrong. The corner of Ling Yun's mouth curled up in a triumphant arc. What he likes to see the most is the change of face of the store manager. Especially that surprised expression is much more exciting than any shot. Ling Yun, I admit that I have slapped my face. It seems that I will not be able to boast in front of you in the future. Although the situation is still calm on the surface, deep in Urahara Kazuki's heart, there are violent waves. Kido, forget it. Even the slash is so powerful, he had to admit that he seriously underestimated Ling Yun's current strength. You know, after only half a month of special training, Ling Yun has made astonishing progress, probably not so fast even on a rocket. Mr. Urahara, I know that you have let go, but I will continue to work hard and try to beat you one day, Ling Yun vowed. Blue out of blue. This is the goal he set for himself. Ling Yun, one day in the future, I believe you can do it. Heartfelt praise from Urahara Kazuki. After this sparring, he completely changed his attitude towards Ling Yun, and he truly admired him. Chapter 20 The Shiba family is here, ads by Bid Gear. Exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama soon after, the hot spring area of the training base. Ling Yun and Urahara Kazuki soaked in the hot spring with relaxed expressions. Every blood capillary in the whole body let out joyful cheers. The special curative effect of the hot spring soothes every acupuncture point of the body and relieves the fatigue after a day of training. Mr. Urahara, how did you come up with the idea to create such a unique taidao? Ling Yun looked curiously at the special taidao that could fuse Ryotsu placed not far away. This is a unique tachi, though not comparable to the Zanpakutō. But when training, it can work wonders. The reason? In fact, there is no reason. It was just a whim to make such a small object. Urahara Kazuki replied leisurely. Small objects? Ling Yun's eyelids twitched slightly. This special sword is so high imitation that it is amazing enough. In the eyes of Urahara Kazuki, dare love is just an inconspicuous item? It's no wonder that the Technology Development Bureau was established and the supernatural thing Hogyoku was invented. Genius is beyond ordinary people's comprehension. Ling Yun muttered helplessly. As the entire Soul Society, the person with the highest IQ. Urahara Kazuki does have enough proud capital. Among other things, just Aizen's own admission is the best proof. Being able to establish a bond with the store manager, Ling Yun considers herself lucky enough, of course, all thanks to her strong background identity. By the way, there is something to inform you. Urahara Kazuki reached out from the shore, picked up a glass of iced juice, and took a sip. In the next 3 days, I need to go out to perform tasks, so you should take these few days as a vacation. Huh? Did you get a holiday all of a sudden? Ling Yun was very surprised. He is now entering the state, and hopes to race against time to learn all the low-level Kido as soon as possible. Sudden break for 3 days. Ling Yun suddenly felt a little depressed. Ling Yun, you are not addicted, are you? What a torment monster. Urahara Kazuki's wicked teasing has become his daily routine. Mr. Urahara, just wait, one day I will beat you up. Ling Yun said seriously. Hey, stay with me anytime, I'm also looking forward to that day. But now. Ling Yun felt that something was wrong when Urahara Kazuki was speaking halfway. 63 of Bakudo, Chains and Locks. Urahara Kazuki abandons the chant and casts Bakudo. Condensed by Ryotsu. The huge snake-like chains swarmed up from all directions, quickly trapped Ling Yun's body, and bound him into a rice dumpling. Mr. Urahara, what are you going to do? No matter how hard Ling Yun struggled, the locks became tighter and tighter. In the end Ling Yun couldn't even move. Let's soak for an afternoon to make you sober. Urahara Kazuki walked ashore and moved a small bench. From nowhere, he brought a green fisherman's hat and a glass of iced juice in his hand. It's like a posture of people eating melons. Mr. Urahara, please speak up if you have something to say, we are a master-student relationship. Ling Yun was hung up, and he sensed a trace of conspiracy from Urahara Kazuki's eyes. As predicted, Urahara Kazuki started a routine of mischief. He intentionally emits Ryotsu, targeting the surface of the hot spring water. In just a few breaths, the originally calm water surface rioted under the influence of Ryotsu. Plop plop. The surface of the water is rolling and surging. Ling Yun, who was hung upside down, was immediately given a mouthful of water. Ling Yun, are you still thinking about Master Hanghammer? Urahara Kazuki sat on a small bench, showing a sly smile. Bah, if you let me down, I will beat you to death. After all, Ling Yun is still young, and like other stunned youths, he will never give up easily. Ever since. The result is obvious, Ling Yun drank hot spring water all afternoon. Evening. As night falls, the stars shine. The residence of the Shihouin family. Sister Yoruichi, I'm back. Ling Yun had just walked through the gate when he heard a conversation coming from the lobby. Kong, you are a rare visitor. I never thought you would come to the door on your own initiative. Yoruichi, your polite words give me goosebumps. Is this the same flash goddess I know? Tisk tisk, you're still the same, but then again, it's really rare that even the Rock Eagles came together. It's not that Brother Kyan told him not to let this brat get into trouble, so he was forced to come with him. Two different voices were discussing in full swing. Even at a certain distance, Ling Yun could still hear clearly. Kong. Hearing this familiar name, Ling Yun immediately realized that another familiar character appeared on the stage. It's a coincidence that it's better to come early, so I have to thank the store manager. Ling Yun complained to himself, and then walked towards the door of the lobby. Sister Yoruichi, I'm back. After Ling Yun walked into the lobby, he saw a familiar figure. It was a woman with a beautiful face. She was wearing a short red apron. There were swirl patterns on her clothes, and there was a tattoo in the shape of the word Kong on her left arm. Because of the fracture, she had a tattoo on her right arm. Prosthetics. Of course, the most striking thing is that perfect figure. As expected of one of the famous strong women in Shinigami. After seeing Shiba Kong, Ling Yun had to sigh with emotion. Huh. Isn't this little Ling Yun? It's been a few years since I saw him, and he's grown so big already. Ling Yun immediately attracted the other party's attention as soon as he appeared. Shiba Kong turned his head and looked at Ling Yun seriously with a soft smile. In fact, as early as a few years ago, she had a relationship with Ling Yun. It's just that Ling Yun was still young at that time, so after many years, the memory has become a little fuzzy. Seeing each other again now, Shiba Kong looked more excited than Ling Yun. Ling Yun, this is Sarasuru, and that is her younger brother Ganju. Yoruichi briefly introduced. Hello Miss Kong. Ling Yun greeted him politely. However, just then, ding, a warm reminder, a triggering task will appear, do you want to choose it immediately? The system beep sounded again without warning. What the hell? Saying hello can also trigger the mission. Ling Yun was dumbfounded when he heard it, this system is too unconventional. But the complaints are all complaints. With the previous experience, Ling Yun still clicked on the task information bar. He quickly saw the mission content. Random mission, the strongest brother. Task content. Within the specified time limit, challenge Shiba Ganju and defeat him in front of the two sisters. The specified time limit is 1 hour. Task reward. Shiba family secret art. Read all the information silently. Ling Yun looked at Shiba Griffin. For the reward of the mission, this strongest brother, he is determined. Chapter 21 The Competition of the Strongest Brother. Ads by Bid Gear. Emma Watson's incredible transformation. Reclama exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama, random mission. The strongest brother, task content. Within the specified time limit, challenge Shiba Ganju and defeat him in front of the two sisters. The specified time limit is 1 hour. Task reward. Shiba family secret art. After silently reading all the information, Ling Yun looked at Shiba Griffin. For the reward of the mission, the strongest brother is determined. Secrets of the Shiba family, it really is a random task, and even the rewards are unpredictable. Ling Yun silently closed the task information bar, and sat down at a random place. Shiba family mysteries, it is attractive enough for him. Shiba, blood jade, Shiba fireworks. In Ling Yun's impression, most of the secret arts of the Shiba family play an auxiliary role. Although the effect of improving combat power is not much, at least there is an additional means of life-saving, and maybe at some point in the future, it can also have the effect of surprising victory. Therefore, for the rewards of random tasks, Ling Yun has the mentality of being determined to win. Sensing Ling Yun's gaze, Shiba Ganju, who was sitting on a chair, asked with an embarrassed expression, Brother Ling Yun, should this be the first time we have met? In fact, there is still a subtext in his heart, even if I'm handsome, you don't need to look at me like that, do you? Brother Yanju, it's indeed the first time we've met, but I think you're a good match. Ling Yun greeted him warmly as he knew him very well. Really? Actually, I think so too. Shiba Griffin was taken aback in surprise. He also didn't expect that Ling Yun, who looked like a kid, besides having a handsome face, was far more enthusiastic than he expected, and he didn't have the slightest aristocratic airs on him. Yo, can't you see, Griffin and Ling Yun get along well. Seeing the two younger brothers getting together, Yoruichi and Shiba Kuzuru looked at each other, and both smiled in surprise. Nominally, Shihouin and Shiba are the 4 major families of the Soul Society. But one is in glory, and the other has long since fallen. Therefore, although Ling Yun and Shiba Griffin are both younger brothers, their status is very different. One is Shihouin's young boss, and the other is Rukongai's gangster. The two are really not the same. Kong, my younger brother is much more talented than Shisiro, Yoruichi said proudly. How to say? Shiba Kuzuru instantly became interested. Ling Yun has only been practicing for less than a month, and he has already started to learn about Kido, and has mastered many low-level Kido, which we couldn't do back then. Next, Yoruichi turned on the chatterbox mode. She described Ling Yun's performance in the past few days, word by word, as if she was promoting some kind of glorious deeds. Remodeling Kido? Yoruichi, you're not kidding me, are you? Shiba Sora had a skeptical expression on his face. After practicing for less than a month, mastering low-level Kido, this kind of talent is already amazing enough. Are you going to modify Kido now? I'm afraid this is not bragging. Why, don't you believe it? Yoruichi shifted his gaze to Ling Yun. Ling Yun, Miss Kong doesn't believe it, what do you say? While Yoruichi spoke, he raised his eyebrows deliberately, the meaning of which is self-evident. Sister Yoruichi, why don't I compete with Ganju? Ling Yun, his younger brother, immediately understood Yoruichi's eyes and made a request immediately. Huh? Compete with me? Originally, he was forced to come to Shihouin's mansion with the mentality of playing soy sauce. After hearing Ling Yun's words, Shiba Griffin was taken aback for a moment, and his expression immediately became weird. Although his talent and strength are not as amazing as his elder brother, Shiba Kyan. But how to put it, it can be regarded as one of the more famous gangsters in Rukongai. And what about Ling Yun? It's just a young kid, and he has only practiced for less than a month. It's really a test. Will there be some big bullies? Brother Ling Yun. Shiba Kong, who was sitting on the other side, took a deep look at Ling Yun. With such a handsome face, I didn't expect him to be quite confident. Miss Kong, you are Sister Yoruichi's best friend, I should call you sister too, right? Ling Yun used his trump card again. The cute look of the little boy hit Shiba Kongi's heart directly, making him let go of all defenses in an instant. Wipe honey on the little mouth. This, sister, sounds really comfortable. Shiba Kong, who has always been strong, no longer looks like a strong woman at this moment, but reveals a graceful side. Her reaction made Yoruichi and Shiba Ganju almost drop their jaws. Is this still the big sister I know? Shiba Griffin's eyes widened in astonishment, and his mouth formed an "oh" shape, which could almost plug a light bulb. Also surprised was Yoruichi. She and Shiba Kong have been close friends for many years, and they are like sisters. Based on Yoruichi's understanding of Shiba Kong, even if the sky is falling, it is impossible to be gentle to outsiders. But now he's being slapped in the face. Sure enough, good looks are justice. My brother's face is really impeccable, and even Kong was defeated. Yoruichi secretly delighted in his heart. There is a handsome younger brother. What a feast for the eyes. And next, something even more surprising happened. Gantu, since Ling Yun has already spoken, as a man, you shouldn't back down, right? Shiba Gansu shifted his gaze to his younger brother. Anyone can clearly hear the explicit meaning in these words. That. Big sister. You are right. Seeing the big sister who changed his face and flipped a book, Shiba Griffin immediately trembled with fright. As a man, of course I won't back down easily, and everything will be done according to brother Ling Yun's request. It was hard to hold back a word. Shiba Griffin was sweating profusely, as if exhausting all his strength. He had to sigh with emotion. The death gaze of the big sister was really terrifying. It's done. Almost at the moment Shiba Ganju spoke. In the depths of Ling Yun's pupils, an imperceptible look of joy flashed quietly. Fortunately, it didn't take too much effort, and finally attracted Shiba Griffin to take the bait. As for the next competition, based on his understanding of the Shiba Griffin, Ling Yun has full confidence. Tenfold Kido. Easy enough to beat the Rukongai bastard. Since you all agree, let's not delay. There is an open space in the backyard, which is just suitable for the competition. Yoruichi immediately suggested. She has high hopes for Ling Yun. If you win, you earn blood, and if you lose, you don't lose money. Even if Ling Yun loses in the end, there's age as an excuse, so Yoruichi is not worried at all. Soon after, the backyard of the Shihouin mansion. There is an open field here, surrounded by many wooden frames, on which are placed many sharp weapons. God-given soldiers. This title is no joke, it's here. Led by Yoruichi, the crowd came here. A strongest brother competition is about to start. Chapter 22 One move determines the outcome, ads by Bid Gear. Exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama the backyard of the Shihouin mansion. The venue where the competition is about to take place is vast and empty, surrounded by many wooden frames on which many sharp weapons are placed. The environment here fully embodies the title of Heaven given Bingzwang Fan. As the Soul Society, one of the 4 oldest families, Shihouin has many magical weapons, and the weapons placed here are just the tip of the iceberg. Everyone, let's do it here later. Yoruichi led everyone to the field, looked around with nostalgia. This is the place where I used to train. Now I give the field to you too. I hope I won't be disappointed later. After Yoruichi finished speaking, he deliberately blinked at Ling Yun slyly. Gantu, do you hear me? Show me some masculinity. When facing his younger brother, Shiba's tone sounded particularly severe. Ahem. Big sister, I will try my best. Shiba Griffin felt a bit of a headache. He is a Rukongai gangster who has not received systematic training and only knows some low-level moves. Once the competition is held openly, Shiba Ganju is really not sure. Of course. As a man, he naturally wouldn't admit to being cowardly. Shiba Griffin came to the center of the field, raised his voice on purpose, and looked at Ling Yun with a calm face. Brother Ling Yun, don't say I bully me, let me give you a trick later. Obviously, in his opinion, no matter how talented Ling Yun is, there is a limit after all. You should be able to handle it easily. Brother Yanju, are you sure? Ling Yun looked at each other with weird eyes. Let me do it first? Is this speaking human language? The person who said this last time had already suffered a big loss, and it was still Urahara Kazuki. You are a Rukongai gangster. It can't be stronger than the captain-level Shinigami, right? Just when Ling Yun complained silently, Shiba Griffin misunderstood. He mistakenly thought that Ling Yun showed that expression because he was too excited. Ever since, Shiba Ganju immediately became full of confidence. He's starting to swell. Come on, brother Ling Yun, use the low-level Kido you have learned to attack me with all your strength. In order to show his masculinity, Shiba Ganju even took off his hood. He has an attitude of, lousy doesn't care at all. Brother, you are really swollen. Ling Yun even suspected that Shiba Ganju was amused. Originally, he planned to be merciful and save a little face for the other party, but now it seems that this is completely unnecessary. Face off against a swollen opponent. The best way is to make him sober. Then I won't be polite. Ling Yun is ready to go, and all the ryotsu in his body are continuously emitted. He didn't intend to be merciless, and immediately used the strongest move, Gale Wind Break. Hado's 20, the wind breaks. Facing Shiba Griffin's gaze, Ling Yun gave up singing and cast Hado. The linearized Ryotsu thin lines turned into wind blades one after another, spreading continuously along the surroundings, violently kicking up the dust on the ground. What's going on with this momentum? Not only Shiba Ganju, but also Yoruichi and Shiba Kongzuru who played on the sidelines. Sensing the aura emanating from Ling Yun's body, the three immediately showed identical expressions. Eat melon? Watching a play? The original leisurely mood disappeared in an instant? If I remember correctly, Quangfengpo belongs to the wind element Kido, right? But what happened to the other two waves just now? Yoruichi was the first to react. She sensed it carefully, and found that all the thin wires of the wind blades still exuded scorching heat, and even faintly saw subtle electric arcs. No way? There are 3 Ryotsu with different attributes in one Hado? Yoruichi sensed again and again, and after gaining full confidence, the astonishment on his face deepened. Multi-attribute Ryotsu. This kind of thing only exists in legends, but I didn't expect to see it with my own eyes today. More importantly, this person is still his own brother. Yoruichi, I didn't expect that little Ling Yun could hide so deeply. Integrating multiple attributes Ryotsu, this is a unique super talent. Shiba Kong was surprised from ear to ear. She also didn't expect that this handsome little boy would be so secretive. Tisk tisk, do you finally believe it now? I said long ago that Ling Yun would transform Kido on his own. Yoruichi had a showy expression on his face as if he had found a treasure. She is really happy for Ling Yun. Looking at Ling Yun again, it's like looking at a rising star. At the same time, Ling Yun's aura climbed to the peak. Brother Yanju, be careful. With Ling Yun's thought, all the wind blades whizzed out. The surrounding air made a heavy noise, and the majestic airwave enveloped the audience in an instant. Damn it, is this the Fengfengpo I know? This level of power is comparable to that of a high-level Kido, right? Shiba Ganju's face was full of shock and fear. From the magnified wind blade in his eyes, he felt a deadly threat. The power of Quangfengpo far exceeded his expectations. However, having been in Rukongai for many years, Shiba Griffin will naturally not sit still. He gritted his teeth hard and immediately launched a counterattack. Shiba-style stone wave method, profound meaning. Serial stone wave fan. Shiba Griffin raced against time, drew a circle of sand on the ground, and quickly laid a special sand array. Pat. Accompanied by a crisp sound. Shiba Gansu's hands patted the ground under his feet at the same time, and the circle of sand burst into light at the same time. Boom. It seems that the scene of the volcanic eruption happened. The ground around the circle of sand turned into sand in an instant, and gathered into a huge sea of sand, roaring towards Ling Yun like a tsunami. And the other side. All the wind blades followed. On one side is the huge sea of sand, and on the other side is the majestic blade of wind. Facing everyone's eyes, 2 completely different forces collided violently in midair. The wind howled and the sand and gravel flew. The entire venue was instantly flooded by the sandstorm. After half a sound, the sandstorm that enveloped the site finally disappeared. The silhouettes of Yoruichi and Shiba Kong first appeared on the edge of the field. The two walked in unison, also held their breath, and stared at the venue intently. Shouldn't the winner be decided? I didn't expect it to end in a way that determines the outcome with one move. The two sisters sighed with emotion. This contest ended right after it started, and the process was completely unpredictable. Yoruichi, who do you think will win? Shiba frowned, never letting go. Does it need to be said? Of course it is Ling Yun. You also saw the power of Hado just now, didn't you? Yoruichi's mouth curled up in a meaningful arc. But, Shiba Kong was about to refute, but after seeing the looming figure in the center of the field, he immediately swallowed what he wanted to say. That is because, the one who continues to stand is Ling Yun. That means he has won the contest. Chapter 23, the 4th attribute. Ads by Bid Gear. No way, Galvi really lost. Shiba Kong was about to refute, but after seeing the looming figure in the center of the field, he immediately swallowed what he wanted to say. That's because it was Ling Yun who continued to stand, which means he won the contest. That's right, one move determines the final result. The winner was indeed Ling Yun. With the improved version of the wind, he instantly killed the opponent. Easily won the strongest brother competition. Yoruichi, you said before that he has only practiced for less than a month. Recalling what his best friend said before, Shiba asked in disbelief. He has practiced for less than a month in his professional career, but he has such a strong combat power. The talent and strength displayed by Ling Yun made Shiba Konghi's beautiful eyes sparkle again and again. She even has to admit that even her eldest brother Shiba Kyan is far inferior to Ling Yun in terms of talent. It's full of money, it's only less than a month. Yoruichi grinned. How about it, Kuzuru, you won't be tempted, will you? Puff. Shiba Kong almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Please. She is a big sister. How could he fall in love with a brat? Just kidding, with your personality, you shouldn't be in such a hurry. Looking at the reaction of your best friend, Yoruichi chuckled, but then again, Griffin seems to have passed out. Yoruichi tried to judge the state of Shiba Griffin through Ryotsu perception, but sensed a faint breath. Apparently after being hit by Quangfengpo, Shiba Griffin immediately fell down and fell into a deep coma. This shows the gap between him and Ling Yun. Gantu, this idiot, was defeated by a brat, and he has no reason to run away from home in the future. Shiba gritted his teeth angrily. A look of, hate iron but not steel, and the other side. While the two sisters were talking, Ling Yun secretly delighted. Finally, the task is completed. The corners of Ling Yun's mouth rose slightly. After winning the strongest brother competition, you can look forward to a wave of systematic rewards. As predicted, after just a few seconds, the system prompt sounded. Ding! Congratulations to host, complete the random task, the strongest brother. Mission reward, Shiba family secret technique. Hearing the mission prompt, Ling Yun was overjoyed and couldn't wait to open the properties panel. After getting rich rewards, the attribute panel has a new look. Name: Shihouin Ling Yun. Identity: Young Master Shihouin. Ryatsu: 350 Shunpo, 515 slash, 226 white hits, 202. Hado: Chong, Max, Bailey, Max, Thunderbolt, Max, Fuhuo, Max, Stormbreaker, Max, Shiba family secrets. Bakudo: Plug, Max. This rope, Max, Collapse wheel, Max. Special abilities: Shiba family mysteries talents. Thunder affinity, fire affinity, wind affinity, Ryatsu boost, Hado boost. Skill points. At #% at hash. To Ling Yun's surprise, there was an additional column of special skills on the attribute panel. It seems that in the future, whether it's through task rewards or the way I learned it, I'm sure I'll be able to master more special skills. Ling Yun immediately made an inference. The emergence of special skills gave him more room for growth in the future. Immediately afterwards, according to the past practice, Ling Yun used the unlimited skill points to quickly reach the full level of Shiba's secret technique. Ding! Congratulations to host, Shiba's secret skill level has been raised to LV2. Congratulations to host, Shiba's secret skill level has been raised to LV3. Congratulations to host, Shiba's secret skill level has been raised to LV4. Congratulations to host, Shiba's secret skill level has been raised to LV99. Ling Yun reached the full level in one go, and awakened extra talents at the same time. Ding! Congratulations to host, you have obtained an extra talent, the fusion of earth attributes. The moment the system prompt sounded, Ling Yun was stunned for a while. He even once suspected that he had heard it wrong. No way! The fusion of earth attributes. The fourth attribute has been awakened so easily? Ling Yun couldn't hide the joy in his heart, the happiness came too suddenly. Awakening of the fourth attribute. It means that the strength of his Ryatsu has to be raised to another level, and the power of Kido will also be significantly enhanced. Shiba Ganju, you are such a good person. Ling Yun closed the attribute panel and looked at the unconscious figure in the ruins in front of him. Send skills and attributes. The appearance of Shiba Griffin is like bringing a big welfare gift package, which instantly boosts Ling Yun's combat power. Ling Yun, you hit the griffin so hard that you knocked it into a deep coma, and I'm afraid I won't wake up in half a month. Yoruichi's voice came from behind. Sister Yoruichi, I didn't do it on purpose, I showed mercy at the last moment. Ling Yun spread her hands helplessly, expressing her innocence. In the case of 10 times the bonus, and the skill point is at the full level, the power of the wind is so powerful. Even Urahara Kazuki can barely handle it, let alone the weaker Shiba Griffin. What can I do? I am helpless too. It's not bad for little Ling Yun, I can only blame Griffin for being too weak. Unexpectedly, as a big sister, Shiba Ganju took the initiative to speak well for Ling Yun. Hey, Kong, you really have a crush on Ling Yun, right? Yoruichi kept looking at his best friend with a strange look. She always felt that something was not right. Yoruichi, you're thinking too much. Where is the infirmary? I'm going to carry that brat Gansuru there. Shiba Sorzuru hesitated and changed the subject quickly. Tisk tisk tisk. Yoruichi kept looking at each other with playful eyes. It's a rare opportunity to molest her best friend, so naturally she won't let it go so easily. Finally, Shiba Kong dodged his eyes, carried his unconscious younger brother, and left the training field in desperation. This competition finally came to an end. Ling Yun, there are still 2 months left, and the low-level Kido is completely stress-free, right? After the 2 siblings of the Shiba family left, Yoruichi returned to his former gentleness. The captain of the 2nd division of the Godai, the commander-in-chief of stealth maneuvers. These identities are all invalid in front of Ling Yun. Only when facing Ling Yun alone, will she remove all disguises. Sister Yoruichi, according to the training plan that Mr. Urahara gave me, I should be able to master most of the middle-level Kido before the autumn admissions at the Zhenyang Lingyuan Academy. Ling Yun replied confidently. What? Master most of the intermediate Kido? Yoruichi almost dropped his jaw in shock as if hearing something horrific. 3 months. Practice to this extent, this speed is enough to disdain the entire Soul Society. Chapter 24 Enrollment at Shenyang Spiritual Academy. Ads by Bid Gear exploring the truth behind celebrities' radiant smiles. Reclama time flies. 2 months passed in a blink of an eye. In a few days, the autumn enrollment of Maoyang Ling Yun Academy will be in full swing. At that time, not only Jingling, but the whole Rukongai will also be excited. For most people, this annual event is an opportunity to change their destiny. Once you pass the admissions assessment, you can become a part of the college. After 6 years of training, if you are lucky enough to be selected by each team, you will be able to become a real Shinigami. Fame, status, prestige. At that time, everything will follow. The screen shifts to the north of Shuangji Hill, directly below the Shuangjiding platform. That secret training base. Beast bones scattered everywhere, spire red crystal steel wheels. What moves is the wind, what is still is the sky. The sound of spears striking each other resounds through the empty city. Hado's 63, fiery lightning howl, accompanied by the sound of drinking. In the center of Ling Yun's palm, a huge thunderstorm light ball appeared, which looked like a glowing nuclear bomb. That's right, after 2 months of practice, Ling Yun has started to practice high-level Kido, and fiery lightning howl is the most common one. As in the previous case, after upgrading the fiery lightning howl to the full level, the power and form have undergone qualitative changes. Once Ling Yun tried his best, he threw the thunderstorm light ball in his hand. If it weren't for the existence of the Kido restriction, the entire training base might be blown through. Ling Yun, just a single attribute has such power, I really don't dare to continue teaching. Urahara Kazuki's voice came from the stone steps not far away. Although he said the sentence just now in a joking tone. However, Urahara Kazuki felt terrified every time he saw Ling Yun cast Kido. The reason is simple. With the blessing of various passive talents, Kido, who has reached the full level, has shown extraordinary power. Fiery lightning howl is a good example. Although the serial number is only 63, the fluctuations it emits even exceed the range that high-level Kido should have. If Ling Yun's Ryatsu is stronger, the power of fiery lightning howl can even rival the legendary Hado. Mr. Urahara, you are teasing me again. Ling Yun threw the thunderstorm light ball towards the basin in the distance. Bang! After the deafening bang, the thunderstorm light sphere exploded, and the energy contained in it poured out like a tsunami. Under the indiscriminate bombardment of thunder, even though Urahara Kazuki had set up the triple Kido barrier in advance, the entire area was still destroyed. Even more exaggerated, even the Kido barrier was nearly broken. The power of fiery lightning howl can be imagined. Ling Yun, I don't have anything to teach you here. Urahara Kazuki changed from the previous omen, and a bitter smile appeared on his face. 3 months ago, the plan he made for Ling Yun was to master all low-level Kido. But time turned and 3 months came. Ling Yun has already begun to touch the threshold of high-level Kido. This jaw-dropping cultivation speed completely subverted Urahara Kazuki's concept, so that even he felt a little unreal. Mr. Urahara, thank you for your careful guidance in the past 3 months, otherwise the practice would not have been so smooth. Ling Yun expressed his sincere gratitude. With Urahara Kazuki's mind and keen insight, he can often point out Ling Yun's mistakes and areas for improvement. It's like opening up a shortcut. The only thing Ling Yun needs to do is to practice step by step, and everything will naturally become a matter of course. Oh hehehe. Ling Yun, you don't need to put gold on my face, just don't forget me as a master when you become famous in the future. Urahara Kazuki was serious for a rare time. After 3 months of getting along, he has seen too many bright spots in Ling Yun. Diligent, humble, low-key, hardworking. To be a strong person, Ling Yun lacks none of the qualities that should be possessed. More importantly, cut the fist and walk away the ghost. No matter which aspect, Ling Yun has shown amazing talent. Even Urahara Kazuki, at some point, will feel that Ling Yun's genius is too dazzling. That's necessary, Mr. Urahara, do you think I'm the kind of ungrateful person? Ling Yun stuck out his tongue mischievously. By the way, have you decided which team to join in the future? Urahara Kazuki changed his voice and started 8 trigrams. Oh, I really haven't thought about choosing a fan team. Ling Yun smiled bitterly in surprise. Please, the assessment and enrollment haven't even started yet, so which team are you thinking of joining? This is too long-term consideration, but, after silently complaining in his heart, Ling Yun immediately showed a thoughtful expression. If I have to choose one, I should choose the 4th team. Squad 4. Why? Urahara Kazuki was taken aback for a moment. He had guessed for Ling Yun beforehand, the 2nd team, the 6th team, and the 11th team. As Ling Yun, Shihouin, these fan teams are undoubtedly the best choices. But, the words of the 4th squad are beyond comprehension. Is it possible? Ling Yun still has a dream of becoming a doctor. The more Urahara Kazuki thought about it, the more he couldn't understand it. Mr. Urahara, don't think about it too complicated. The reason why you chose the 4th team is purely because it is leisurely and easy to be lazy. Ling Yun's eyes flashed a cunning. Puff. Hear the answer given by Ling Yun. Urahara Kazuki almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. Fortunately, he thought of a lot of reasons, and it turned out that he was just being lazy. Ling Yun, you are really good, your wings have grown hard, right? Now you can learn how to fool a master. Urahara Kazuki jumped down from the stone ladder. Why do I have a bad feeling? Ling Yun caught a hint of malice in Urahara Kazuki's eyes. As predicted, the next happy thing happened. Urahara Kazuki repeated the old trick, using Bakudo to hang Ling Yun up, and fed him a handful of hot spring water. The master and apprentice had a good interaction. Time flies, time flies. 7 days passed in a blink of an eye. The entire Soul Society has finally ushered in the much-anticipated grand event, the recruitment of Junyang Ling Yun Academy. On this day, both the nobles of Jinglingding and the commoners of Rukongai all flocked to the specific enrollment place. From West Street to Baidomen, pass through Sidenfang and go south for another 100 meters. At this time, the area was overcrowded and dense figures could be seen everywhere. Registration assessment, take the serial number weighting method. Everyone will get a number plate, according to the order of the serial number, one by one to conduct a spiritual power test. As long as the grades are qualified, you can pass the examination. The process seemed simple, but the pass rate was not high, and a large number of people were screened out in the morning alone. Its difficulty can be imagined. Chapter 25 The Test Crystal Exploded. Ads by Bid Gear 12 Women that redefined Asian beauty. Reclama The registration place is full. You can see dense figures everywhere. Since this assessment will take the method of serial number weighting, everyone who signs up will get a unique number plate. According to the order of the serial number, the spiritual power test will be carried out one by one, and as long as the result is qualified, the assessment will be passed. The process seemed simple, but the pass rate was not high, and a large number of people were screened out in the morning alone. Of course, for Ling Yun, there is no pressure at all. I'm in the 500th place, and I should have to wait another 2 or 3 hours. Ling Yun stood in the queue and waited. He glanced at the number plate in his hand, and there was the number, 518, on it. Regarding the issue of sorting and queuing, Ling Yun is actually full of bitterness. Before coming to the registration site, he once had the idea of going through the back door. Although Ling Yun is not well known yet, he has the aura of Shihouin, and with Yoruichi as the big man behind him, he can almost walk sideways in the entire Soul Society. But the reality is cruel. The admissions of Junyangling College adheres to the principle of fairness. Regardless of status, regardless of race, regardless of age. The only hard standard is the spiritual power test, so Ling Yun's wish naturally came to nothing. I really didn't expect that this assessment is quite strict, and the pass rate is even lower than I expected. Ling Yun came to this conclusion after observing secretly for a long time. During the hours of waiting, there was an endless stream of people who were eliminated, and they all left dejectedly. The result was brutal. I don't know what my test result will be. Under various boring circumstances, Ling Yun began to yearn for it. In his impression, Shiba achieved a good result in 6th class spiritual power in the assessment test, and successfully entered the Junyang Ling Yun Academy to practice. He has been called a genius in this way. What about yourself? Will it achieve better results? Possibly even 10th class Ryatsu? In fact, it is not difficult for Ling Yun to surpass Shiba Wind, fire, thunder, earth, water. Due to the awakening of the attribute affinity, talent, Ling Yun has 5 Ryatsu with different attributes in his body, and the perfect fusion of these 5 Ryatsu makes his spiritual power have been upgraded. In the same amount, the strength and density of Ling Yun Ryatsu are several grades ahead of others. This is where his confidence comes from. Hey bro, did you hear that? Just when Ling Yun was thinking, a whisper came from behind. Ling Yun turned his head slowly, and the other party's face came into view. It was a man with a rough face, a round beard, and a somewhat burly figure. He quietly leaned in front of Ling Yun, covering his mouth with his hands, like an 8 trigrams person. What's wrong? Ling Yun was stunned. You haven't heard of it, have you? This year's enrollment has been reformed. It is said that the top 50 with the best performance in the assessment will set up a special training class. This strange bearded man, seeing Ling Yun take over the conversation, immediately gave an endless explanation. Special training class. True or false? Originally holding the mentality of listening to 8 trigrams, but the 3 words, special training class, immediately made Ling Yun interested. Under normal circumstances, students who enter Mao will be divided into 6 grades according to the courses. Each grade will be divided into different classes according to the assessment results. As for the so-called special training class, it is really unheard of. This news is absolutely true. It is precisely because of the appearance of the special training class that the number of applicants exceeds the past. Seeing Ling Yun's surprised expression, the bearded man immediately increased his volume. Brother, do you know the specific differences of the special training class? Ling Yun asked curiously. Hey, you really asked the right person. The bearded man smiled excitedly. The reason why the special training class is attractive is because its instructors are different. Is there such a saying? That's right, the instructors of the special training class, in addition to the instructors of the academy itself, also added the seat of Gode 13, and even the vice captain. The bearded man then uttered a piece of breaking news. Even the chairman and the vice captain came to be guest tutors? Ling Yun's surprised expression deepened. Compared with ordinary academy tutors, high-ranking officers and vice captains are undoubtedly more authoritative. Being able to become their student does have more advantages in terms of practice. Surprised, isn't it? I had the same expression back then. The bearded burly man seemed to be chatty, and even started to introduce himself. My name is Reina, and I am from the 8th district of East Rukongai. Of course, the goal this time is to enter the special training class. Ling Yun was speechless and silent. Hey. Beardman. It is of course a good thing to have a dream, but we can't be unrealistic, right? After a little observation, Ling Yun judged that Reina's strength was obviously not qualified to enter the top 50. What about you, little brother? I don't think you are very old. Even if you fail the test later, I hope you will not be disheartened. After all, you are still young. Before Ling Yun could answer, Renner started talking to himself again. He even acted as a good old man, comforting Ling Yun all the time, and even poured a few bowls of chicken soup. As long as you are happy. Ling Yun shrugged helplessly and did not continue the conversation. Renner felt good about himself, which really made him a little speechless. However, Ling Yun silently remembered the news he revealed, and he was determined to win the special training class. Time flies. Another 3 hours passed quickly. Finally, it's Ling Yun's turn. Number 518. After the number was read, Ling Yun came to a small black room with the listing card in hand. After a brief self-introduction, don't start the spiritual power test. Inject your spiritual power into the test crystal. According to the brightness of the light, the level of spiritual power will be automatically identified. The instructor in charge of the assessment explained briefly. Then under his signal, Ling Yun came to the test crystal. I'd better take it easy, lest I scare him later. Ling Yun silently made up his mind, and immediately activated Ryotsu in his body. Buzz buzz, accompanied by a gentle fluctuation, spiritual power was continuously poured into the test crystal. Hey, it seems to be pretty good. I didn't expect to meet another good seedling. The teacher, who was absent-minded at first, felt the fluctuation of spiritual power, and his eyes suddenly lit up. He changed his previous attitude and stared at the test crystal, looking forward to the next reaction. What is the level of Ling Yun's spiritual power? The answer will be revealed soon. Boom. Without warning, the originally gentle spiritual power suddenly produced a riot. The air made a heavy noise, and under the influence of Ryotsu's spiritual power, even the ground of the small black room shook violently like a tide. No? To have such an exaggerated Ryotsu? The assessment instructor's eyes widened in astonishment. When he looked at the test crystal, his eyeballs almost flew out. That is because, testing the surface of the crystal, many cracks appeared, which seemed to be about to burst.